We don't listen to and record podcasts because it's cute. We listen to and record podcasts because we are members of the human race. And the human race is filled with passion in medicine, law, business, engineering. These are noble pursuits and necessary to sustain life. But podcasts, beauty, romance, love, these are what we stay alive for. I did that as vocal warm-ups. Now, look,
He's not really doing, he's not really doing
No,
that.
but you still need to do it to get into the quiet.
And
then it's
sure. But then when he does like the Brando impression, you're like, right, he needed just 5 minutes to just be a silly guy.
Let's just get straight into this, okay?
Okay.
It is kind of astonishing. I know this has been much discussed.
Okay.
But it's the first time we've tackled any of the movies in this set, okay? That Robin Williams has 4 Oscar nominations. He wins his 4th, right?
He wins the 4th time, yeah.
I was saying his 4th Oscar. Okay. Yeah.
He won his 4th nomination for supporting actor. He had 3
Good Will Hunting.
Best Actor nominations. By the time he gets Good Will Hunting, it's like, is he overdue, right? The 3 movies, all where they didn't give him the award, feel like, hey, wow, incredible. You have found a movie where you can use Robin Williams as a dramatic actor and yet still let him do his thing.
So the first nomination, of course, was for Good Morning Vietnam, which is he's at his most Robin Williamsy when he's on the microphone and all that, right?
Right. So Good Morning Vietnam
loses to Michael Douglas for Wall Street.
Okay. Kind of a freight train.
Yeah, I think so.
This year he loses to
Daniel Day-Lewis for My Left Foot.
Quite a good performance.
And it's another freight train. He was never going to win because Tom Cruise was supposed to win.
Right.
And Day-Lewis for Born on the 4th of July. And Daniel Day-Lewis kind of comes on late.
Fisher King
is his 3rd nomination. Loses to Anthony Hopkins' Silence of the Lambs. Is that a good performance?
I would argue
is that one lodged in the culture?
Yet another freight train. There was this feeling perhaps of like, he keeps being up against Titans. Obviously, Robin Williams is beloved. And he's just over time becoming only a bigger and bigger star. But I also think there was this feeling of, are we going to give him the Oscar when he's still kind of doing the Robin thing, right? Like people were applauding the fact of like, oh my God, he can like carry a drama and he can like carry these emotions and whatever. And yet all these movies, Good Morning Vietnam and Dead Poet Society, are kind of ingeniously constructed to tap into the emotional sensitive side of Robin Williams and surprise you, and yet allow him to do fucking riffs.
Yeah.
Like within the structure of him being an unconventional teacher and a radio host, he can just do 90 seconds of impressions in the middle of the movie.
Right.
Then Fisher King is like, what if he doesn't do the riffs?
Right, he's sad.
It's a dramatic version of the manic comedy energy.
Sure.
Whereas Good Morning Vietnam and Dead Poet Society are like dramatic tenor Robin Williams who occasionally does comedy riffs.
And so is Good Will Hunting basically Gus Van Sant being just be sensitive and make us cry?
Listen.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it felt like they were like, there we go.
Yeah.
We just need to see that you could drop all of it.
Yeah.
I do think he was also overdue. Obviously that's a role where it's just, monologues and speechifying and like you see, making us cry and all that. Who'd he beat out there? He beat out Burt Reynolds.
Was seen as maybe
it was the
odds-on favorite to win.
But for Boogie Nights, who's great.
Yeah.
But perfect.
But everyone hates.
Yeah, no, we can't be doing all of that. Yeah,
right.
That's crazy.
It's a thing we're fascinated with. It's another example of someone like sweeps all the precursors, and then you get to the Oscars and they lose, and it's like because too many people in this academy have worked with that person
or their speeches. I love when you watch like a Oscar like race or tour or whatever, and all the speeches before are so insufferable that by the time they get to the Oscars, it's just like, no, we're not doing it.
There's absolutely that part of it.
Yeah.
But I think I always cite Eddie Murphy and Sylvester Stallone.
Eddie Murphy would have been Dreamgirls.
Yes.
They were really,
Key examples of like they're winning everything until the Big Show. And the Big Show is a lot of people who are like, I fucking worked with him. And he...
and also them being like, we'll let you know that how you're all wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. This movie has a lot of quotable dialogue.
Sure.
What's that face? What's that?
I don't like the screenplay for this movie at all. I think it's
at all.
No, I'm not a fan.
You know what's interesting? I remembered in an episode.
I think this is kind of like not a very good movie that is just so handsomely made and well acted that it kind of puts a spell on you a little bit. I don't like this movie that much fundamentally.
This
sorry,
is very
guys.
upsetting. This is very. This is such a bomb.
I'm not trying to be a jerk.
David kind of coming in with like a Nia DaCosta on the fog take.
I know. I was literally just thinking about that.
Nia, congratulations. Heat's off you. David's fucking taking the slings and arrows.
I cannot tell a lie.
I was really, I'm still aware of how depressing that episode was for everyone. So thank you so much, David, for taking the mantle.
Of course.
Would you like to give a speech of any kind?
Yeah. Do you want to accept this honor of being the bad guy of this episode, David?
Am I the bad guy? Am I just giving voice to some people who agree with me? I don't know.
I can see where, like, in the structure of the screenplay, for example, it's a bit loosey-goosey. You're like, we're over here, we're over there.
Mm-hmm.
I had questions, actually, about the ending. Spoiler alert. Like, how earned...
I would agree.
What Dr. Wilson, where his story ends up.
Yes. Dr. Wilson, of course, Robert Sean Leonard.
Yes.
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 He will forever be Dr. Wilson.
Unfortunately. But I think you're absolutely right in that it's so handsomely made. Like, I was thinking so much about this, like, how beautifully shot it was, how wonderfully acted it was, because those scenes, like those, like 2 or 3 scenes leading up to that, to him taking his own life, are so upsetting, and so beautifully acted. Like his conversation with his father, his conversation.
Like Kurtwood Smith on fire,
in full foot in your ass mode. That's true.
It is so funny that, like, to our generation,
he wants to put his foot in your ass.
You watch that 70s show, and then you go back and you see like fucking RoboCop and Dead Poets Society,
Kurtwood
and you're like, oh, it's weird to see like scary Red Foreman.
Also, it's great casting. Then you're like, oh, that makes so much sense that you would cast,
because to everyone like 10 plus years older than us, they're like, how funny is it that that guy ended up being a sitcom dad, making fun of how intense he is?
No, it's so. Have you seen the reboot?
No, but it's all him, right? It's him with like the grandkids.
It's him and the grandkids. Yeah, I mean, it's always that weird uncanny valley of like a modern 3-camera, like multi-camera.
Yes.
But I just love him so much.
He rolls.
Yeah.
Sorry, you were about to say, handsomely made, earned.
What?
Those scenes. I feel like
Nia was possibly like inching towards the vaguest agreement with sort of my sentiment.
What I'm not gonna do is go back to the fog.
Absolutely.
So I love this movie. It made me cry.
Yeah.
I took lots of notes and realized so much of my life is sort of, I went to New England boarding school for 5 years. So I was like, I know these people.
Right. You had this sort of experience. I mean, not in the 50s, obviously.
Yeah, not in the 50s.
Your Wikipedia, famously the most reliable resource, says that you originally intended to be a poet.
Oh my gosh!
Is that based on truth?
Yeah, when I was 6. If 6-year-olds can originally intend
aspiration
anything.
Was to be a poet. No citation.
No citation.
And when you were 16, apparently, this must be from an interview you gave or something. Yeah. You took an AP English class and you read Heart of Darkness, and that led you to Apocalypse Now, and that led you to cinema.
Well, what led me to cinema was my parents' divorce and becoming a latchkey kid.
Sure.
All
watch movies, baby.
All of this is good.
and watching HBO for hours during the summer, and being like, I don't know what's going on in Full Metal Jacket, but I want to keep watching it.
We sent you. Let me first off, let me just say, just to be very clear, this is Blank Check with Griffin and David. I'm Griffin.
I'm David.
A little slow.
I was looking at this Wikipedia page.
It's a podcast about filmographies, directors who have massive success early on in their careers and are given a series of blank checks to make whatever crazy passion projects they want, and sometimes those checks clear and sometimes they bounce. Baby, my captain.
Mm-hmm.
To the earlier point I was setting up, the other crazy thing about those 4 Robin Williams movies I cite is all 4 of them were huge motherfucking hits. That this guy was such a star at an era where the fucking Hollywood system still worked, where his clout as a comedian could make a drama a blockbuster. This movie made $240 million worldwide in 1989.
This was a huge hit. Fisher King, I would say, is the one of the 4.
Fisher King was a hit.
It did okay.
It was not a hit on the same
its worldwide?
40. Like Fisher King was just kind of like a made its budget back
Fisher
movie.
King's worldwide was 40?
That's great for Terry Gilliam.
Relax?
We're upset with
what was that domestic? The other 3 were huge.
I think it's okay, let's see.
See, this is what I'm saying.
No, it's domestic was 40.
There we go.
Great.
And it's worldwide was 70. It's totally fine. Totally fine. But like
the other 3 were genuine.
Good Morning Vietnam, this
$100 million.
What was the other? Obviously, Good Will Hunting was a big hit. I don't know. And you know what else was a big hit was freaking Aladdin and
sure.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
I'm just saying this guy Those
One
are
was the Birdcage.
Birdcage was
But
a
not a
huge
hit.
hit.
Was it a hit?
A huge
Yes.
hit.
His
Birdcage
90s
made a ton of money.
We're going to talk about this. His 90s were incredible until it fell off a cliff. Basically, right after he wins the Oscar.
Well, he started,
Oscar curse.
I mean, God bless him, he started making really bad movies.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I don't know.
What was the first bad one?
I mean, I think Griffin's right that it's sort of like,
Right after the Oscar,
he starts to pick out these projects that are so treacly.
Jacob the Liar.
So, well,
What Dreams May Come.
Patch Adams, Jacob the Liar, Bicentennial Man.
Right.
So it's like these movies that are all like big, expensive movies that he will be the star of.
Patch Adams is a giant hit. The other three are flops. But Patch Adams is also immediately reviled.
Hated.
Like, it being a hit made people hate it more.
And
I feel like actors do this a lot, though, where they are like, now I'm a lead. And it's like, well, sometimes that supporting part is the best part of the movie.
Dead Poet Society is a great example.
Exactly.
He's on screen for 30 minutes.
Stop.
Right.
He's got a Best Actor nomination. He's above the title. He's Robin Williams.
He's sort of the lead, although
He's the
you're right.
captain.
It's an ensemble, I guess. There's no real... Yeah, because not even Robert Sean Leonard or Ethan Hawke are really... Like, it's like there's not even a lead
I'd say
kid.
it's Robert Sean Leonard.
Sort of.
But I looked up, there's the one account that does the fucking stopwatching.
Yeah.
And it's 33 minutes out of 2 hours and 8 minutes. Let me just finish the intro because we're obviously getting deep into the weeds here. It's a mini-series on the films of Peter Weir. It is called Podnick at Hanging Cast. Today we're talking about Dead Poet Society.
Mm-hmm.
We are the Dead Podcaster Society.
Sure.
Podk Castum.
Okay.
Producer Ben.
Producer Ben is, he's outfitted.
He's fitting the dress code for the first time. We've always recommended a dress code here on Blank Check that we fail to abide by, but Ben has shown up in his finest boarding school wears.
Yeah, wearing a striped tie. I have a nice brown sports jacket on, some loafers.
Yes.
I guess the only thing I'm wearing denim that wouldn't be allowed at a prep school.
You have your glasses
at my
on.
school, you got to wear, my first boarding school, every other Saturday we had class for a half day, which obviously is terrorism.
That's
So
actually the
rude.
worst thing I've
Yeah.
ever heard in my life.
I know, it's terrible. And then, but we got to wear jeans, casual dress.
Oh, yes,
Okay.
you got to, right, sure. I had to wear a uniform, which is so common in Britain, private school, public school. Like, it's like, I think it's still kind of the norm for so many schools.
I've
and at St. Anne's, was it recommended that you should really like just wear like whatever household objects?
I have shared this before, but in my freshman year at St. Anne's, the horrible school I went to.
Where's St. Anne's?
At Brooklyn Heights.
Prep school?
No, it's like a fancy school with no homework.
Fucking
Montessori energy.
Yeah, kind. I mean, like it was once back in the. It was
than
founded as. We're gonna be alternative.
It was founded as what if you build a whole school out of John Keatings,
right?
But also maybe half of those John Keatings were sexual predators.
Well, there's a little.
Well, that's
bit
what we all find out later.
Yeah,
but now it's just very fancy. There's lots of rich people in Brooklyn who want to send their kids to fancy private schools.
I, as some weird meta conceptual bit, being the most annoying, precocious child at the worst school. In freshman year, wore my own version of a school uniform for months.
Sounds cool.
That was my big act of rebellion of like, you're all so fucking rebellious. I'm going to dress like I'm part of the
You're sheep.
There was.
I'm Griffin.
So I did kind of dress the way Ben's dressed today.
Ben doesn't look impressed.
No.
Our guest today, returning to the show for the fourth time.
Fourth appearance?
Yes.
Nia DaCosta.
Hello.
We are recording this very far in advance because you're a very, very busy
you're around and you got a couple movies in the can.
We've recorded with directors who were like, oh, and by the time this episode comes out, your movie will have come out.
Yeah.
You were the first person where we're recording at a point where by the time the episode comes out, 2 films will have come out.
That's crazy. Yeah.
When does Hedda come out?
Director of Hedda, and 28 days
22nd.
later, The Bone Temple.
Yeah, I like to go 28 years later.
Excuse me, sorry.
Part 2, The Bone Temple, and then ask everyone, where does the colon go?
These are the questions. I noticed the new trailer that just came out at the time we're recording this didn't have the part 2.
It doesn't. I just like to add it.
Okay. We went to see the film.
Hedda.
Oh,
I'm sorry. Well, we saw Hedda, but also when Ben and I saw it 28 years later.
Yes.
Right.
At the end, the lights come up, right? After there's the big the Jimmies.
Mm-hmm.
This crazy ending.
Yes.
And Ben turns to me and he goes, I like how random that ending was, but part of me just wishes I could watch an entire movie of that. And I said, Ben, do I have great news for you? It's already in the can. It's directed by our friend, and it's subtitled The Bone Temple. And it was like his eyes turned into like 3 sevens.
My
and
eyes
so
started
exciting.
turning into like a slot machine, and it just landed on
Your
bones.
tongue flopped out of your mouth.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, that I will say tonally, my film is quite different from the energy of that scene. But yeah, it is the Jimmies are a focal point in the film, and they're just
the Bone Temple gonna be okay? I understand you probably can't answer this
also,
question.
Just to be clear, by the time this episode comes out, we will have recorded an episode on us having seen the film.
I'm like, they're gonna fuck up all his bones.
Yeah, let's keep the bones.
He worked so hard.
It is
on
okay
them.
in the end.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Great. That's actually great news. I'm actually buoyed by that. That's great.
Yeah.
We saw Hedda though,
Oh, thank you for going. Thank you so much.
which I love.
Oh, thank God.
Which sucks.
Yeah.
No. It's actually awesome. Yes.
I really loved it.
I did ask your dad. I said, did Griffin like
You
it?
met my dad as well.
Yeah, which was amazing.
Yes.
Very
My dad also loved it.
Let's talk about the Dead Poets Society. Come on,
Yeah.
guys.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you go to boarding school.
Yeah, I went to boarding school.
Does this happen
In
after
New
your
England.
parents' divorce? Where is this in the timeline? I want to put all this together.
My parents got divorced when I was 9.
Okay.
Rude.
And I know it was very disrespectful, but thank God they did.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
It's like it was the right thing. I went to boarding school for 8th through 12th grade,
Okay.
but I was in private school when I was younger, and then public school for a bit right after my parents' divorce. And my mother's huge on education, and she was like, "We're not doing this anymore." She was like, like in New York City, you have to go to the school where you're living.
Yes.
And so the first thing we tried was she gave her office address so I can go to a better school downtown.
Okay.
And like day one, they were like, "Can we have Nia DaCosta come to the principal's office, please?"
Fucking.
They were like, "Get out."
Oh, they rumbled you.
Yeah, they
Jesus.
did. But then I ended up going to Robert Wagner on the Upper East Side.
Okay.
And then when it came time to like
Because
leave,
you grew up in Harlem,
yeah, more or less, yeah. I was born in Brooklyn, raised
Okay.
mostly in Harlem, had a stint in
East or
Queens.
West.
West.
Okay.
So I was like kind of like near 145th
Got it.
ABCD
Yeah.
station, yeah.
You still
And
think.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And I think 6th and 7th grade, my mom was like, we can do better. And so we started looking at private schools. I almost went to Spence.
Wow.
Which would have been, I think I would have been a shell of the person.
I don't these upper crust places. I can't imagine what the kids are like. I mean,
No,
it
I
freaks
know
me
some
out.
Spence girls, and they're like, you escaped.
Spence has some Dead Poet Society energy.
I'm sure
For
it does.
sure.
I met
Right.
a girl who went to one of those schools. I don't think it might have
Nightingale
been
Bamford.
Nightingale, yeah.
Yeah. And like I was like, oh, I grew up in New York. Like, and I said something about how I always loved taking the subway as a kid because I did. This came up.
Sure.
And she was like, yeah, I never took the subway until I was a grown up. And I was,
Wow.
it was just, I was like, and you went to school like,
Yeah.
fucking, across the park from where I grew up. And like, you never, ever, like, it was
Well, how old
like
were
a
you for
whole
your
other
first?
life. Sorry?
How old were you for your first
Subway
subway
ride?
ride? Yeah.
A baby, I
Yeah.
imagine.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, I mean, solo.
Oh, that's a
Oh,
good question. I started, I had moved to London by then.
Yeah.
But I started taking myself to school when I was 10.
Yeah.
And my guess would be that would be like when I
Yeah.
was first.
Yeah. Mine was 9.
Yeah.
See, my thing was, right, 9/11 happens when I'm 12.
Never
I
forget.
feel like I had just started to get independent subway
Mm-hmm.
rights, and then I got knocked back. Then there was a year of my parents being like, the subway is going to be blown up. You cannot get on it.
Sure.
Yeah.
My parents are weirdly fucking not subway riders.
Yeah,
What neighborhood did you grow up in?
I grew up in the West Village, but they're just
No
crazy
trains
people.
around
My
there.
dad would fucking would lease a car and drive it everywhere and just be upset all the time.
This is what I'm
Sweet.
talking about.
Right.
But
But
anyway.
lived in New York for decades, so I had to come by my love of the subway.
On
without-
your own time.
Not that they didn't take me on it, but
Yeah.
it was not there. Yeah.
Ben, you want to
love
weigh
that.
in?
Yeah, I just wanted to share. I actually went to an unprep school,
Oh,
Where are you from, Ben?
you were unprepped.
Jersey.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
Continue.
Yeah.
They wanted
No,
you
I
not
appreciate that.
prepared for anything.
So
They de-prepared
it was an unpreparatory school.
Yeah, good.
That I left and I didn't know what the fuck I was going to
It
do.
is so rude that prep schools. I didn't, I never went to a prep school, but they're like, we're prep schools.
The
We're prepping. And I'm like,
backhanded
are not-
implication,
Are
yes.
schools not generally
Unlike some of these other
supposed to
schools,
prepare?
it's the Fairsley difference.
Why do you get to be the prep
We
school?
always have
I never thought
apples.
about that.
Anyway,
Yeah,
I
no,
assume it's probably rooted in some, awful thing a Victorian person
Absolutely.
said.
Oh, probably.
once or
Ooh,
whatever.
something dark.
Yeah.
But were you in what kind of Jersey were you in?
So just an hour outside of the city.
my city, this city.
Yeah,
I
correct.
In my
love that.
city.
So-
Amazing. Sorry, I was just like, I just started thinking about Jersey cities.
So extremely suburban.
Mm-mm.
Yeah, like kind of near Patterson, that area.
Okay, yeah.
It was a small area, only a couple bone temples. Not
Yeah.
like a major hub. What
Yeah.
boarding school did you end up going to?
I went to the Rumsey Hall School in Connecticut,
Okay.
and then I went to the Master School in Westchester.
You
Yeah.
That's an intense name for a school.
The Master School?
Yeah.
Yeah. It used to be all girls. Elizabeth Masters was the founder of the
okay,
school.
there we
Okay,
go.
okay.
Now
Yeah,
it's
it
a
wasn't
little
like
less
we're going to be
intense.
masters of the universe.
Or it wasn't like big Paul Thomas Anderson fans where they were just
No,
like,
no, thank
Was
God.
Founded in
No
2013.
sad hand jobs. And actually, probably real high school
they're
students after
probably,
all.
I'm sure a sad
Yeah,
hand job
you
or two.
Lots of
happened.
cannot-
hand jobs. Actually. I'm so
Cannot
sorry.
promise.
I know. That's absolutely in the Math Resource Center.
No, because knowing you had like a back-to-back press tours coming up, and you
Yeah.
were going to be in town now,
Yeah,
we
had
gave
Peter
you like
Weir.
the schedule for the whole first 6 months
Yeah.
of 26,
Mm.
and you threw out a couple, but we were immediately like, Dead Poets
Yeah.
is interesting, not knowing the level of connections.
Well, that was what was so crazy
Right.
because I literally, and I guess we can talk about the movie now,
Yes.
but I literally, when it got to the yop scene, I was like, oh my God, Mr. Ketchum made us go outside and yop. I was like, and I'm like,
what
he
is
was
this
so,
word you are using?
Yop.
the thing
Right.
that makes Ethan Hawke.
Yeah, right.
The
right,
primal,
right,
a
right, right.
primal y'all. But
But,
Mr.
yeah,
Ketchum was
Mr.
your
Ketchum-
Mr. Keaton.
Absolutely.
Ash Ketchum.
Okay.
Yeah, and I was Ash Ketchum.
Yep. He taught you how to rear a Pokemon.
He taught me how
Did
to rear
somehow both
Pokemon
the Nia
and
and
read.
the Griffin in this episode.
But he was amazing, and when I started, I think I was in 8th grade, in the equivalent of whatever AP English would be for an 8th grader, but we were reading like Faulkner and Walt Whitman and E.E. Cummings and William Carlos Williams, and now that I look back at it, I'm like, oh, of course we're yopping, like
Yeah.
Arbor Bark, yopping around, whatever. It's like, so I was like, oh, he's clearly watched this movie and he's obsessed.
When did you see it?
The first time?
Yeah.
Well, it was on TV a lot, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So
I saw it
yeah.
on TV in high school.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I had the same experience of Sound of Music where it's so long because of the commercials that you never get to the Nazis. I never got to the suicide, and so I rewatched it a couple of years ago, and I was like, no, I was like, what's
It's
happening?
fair. It's fair.
It was so crazy.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, right, everyone's like, yeah, but he gets fired and they all get on their desks, right? You
Yes,
know, like,
yeah,
I mean, that's sort of
yeah.
what everyone references with
Yes.
the Poet Society.
Yeah.
I saw this film when I was like 12 or 13 years old.
Mhm.
I rented it with my friend Saba, and she loved Ethan Hawke. And she was like going through
That
an
was the
Ethan
reason.
Hawke
Okay.
phase.
Okay.
And she was like, I want to rent this movie from, like, it was back in the day when you still would be like, we're going to go to the video store and rent a movie.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, yeah, I've never seen that movie. I know that. That's like a good movie, right?
Yeah.
And I watched it with her and I thought it was okay. And we
Yeah.
both cried and I never saw it again.
Mm.
And then I watched it today, or not, the other
Mhm.
couple days ago. And I was kind of impressed by how, obviously, it's a culturally significant, like it's
Mm.
in the air.
Yeah.
But I was like, damn, I remember like almost all of this. I haven't seen it in like 25
Yeah.
years.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it made me cry when they said, "Oh, Captain, my Captain." And I was kind of like, this is bullshit. Because like I don't even like this movie that much.
Well,
and I'm a pretty
yes.
easy cry. But I'm like, I know they're gonna do it. Like it's like
yes.
I'm not exactly like getting caught off guard by "Oh, Captain, my Captain."
It's like kind of a magic trick movie in that sense where you're
Yeah.
just like, you can't not get hit by that.
It did work me up.
I cried a couple of times watching it.
And
Like,
I have kids now, and
Yeah.
there's things that there are buttons this movie.
You
can
yell
push
at your
with me.
children every day that they got to be doctors. Yelling at twin
It's
babies.
just such a weird
Never do a
conflict where
play.
he's like, you can't be an amateur actor in any sense.
Also, just like, I'm sorry, if your son is Robert Sean Leonard, you're not changing that path. He has the
Yeah.
most
Yeah.
fucking theater actory face.
so
No
true.
one has ever
His
looked
pretty
more
little face.
like an actor and
Wait.
had the demeanor of an actor. The
Doesn't
Robert
the
Sean Leonard.
acting thing come so late in the game?
Pretty late.
Because I was like, did I miss him mentioning liking acting before he was like, it's my passion in life?
No, it like finds him like halfway through.
Right. And then he's immediately in the play.
Yeah. He's sort of like, it feels like he auditions without having told you or anyone that
Yeah.
it's a thing he's
Or
ever had
himself
desire
even.
for. And he
Yeah.
immediately
Yeah.
is like, which, there are there is a type of actor who is like that. Who's just like, yeah, my friend asked me to like be in their short film. Now I'm actually think I might like start auditioning and stuff.
Yeah.
Like maybe I want to do this. I saw it in high school.
Mm.
Yeah.
Similar to you, like high school was just like cable movie channels all the time. I'm like checklist obsessive. I need to watch all the movies. And anything like this that was referenced so much that I knew had Oscar nominations, it's like that's stuff you have to cross off the list, right? Hadn't seen it since then. David, I feel like at some point the last year or two of the podcast, it maybe came up in a box office game.
Sure, it certainly did, because the box office game we'll be playing is a
movie
we covered before, I think. Yeah.
And you said, like, does Dead Poet Society suck? And I was a little surprised by that take, knowing that you love Peter Weir, and this
Peter Weir.
Yeah.
The big miniseries.
And honestly, I love Robin Williams.
You've been beating the drum for so long.
And I love private preparatory education single sex. That's how I think it should be done, always.
Not having seen this movie in 20 years, I was like, the take kind of sounds, I could buy that.
Sure.
Yeah.
If I watch that now, am I going to roll my eyes at all of this, right? And then I watched it last night, and I was like, I think this thing totally works.
Yeah.
I do not think it is one of Weir's best films. And I agree with you that it's like what works is, I think, the decision and the control and the taste that he applies to it. But I also I think this script works. I think it is like
I agree with that it works. It's yes. It's a machine like that. It does what it's supposed to do.
I was very ready for, in my mind's eye, not having seen it since I was a teenager, being like, I'm going to be more cynical about this now. I'm going to have my bullshit meter up really high for like manipulation, And I think the script is like pretty controlled. Now we'll talk about it. The guy had one of the most insane post-Oscar careers that we've discussed before.
Peter Weir.
No, not Peter Weir, the screenwriter who wins the Oscar for this.
Tom Schulman.
Yes.
Wasn't this his first?
Yes.
Exactly. And he
it's a
goes
semi-autobiographical script
it's about a teacher who inspired him, yada, yada, yada.
Right.
He gets put on Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. His job is to make it a comedy. Is that right?
Yes.
It was like a late rewrite thing.
From the Stuart Gordon version, which I think was more sci-fi, which of course he wanted to call Teeny Weenies.
And then it's like a bunch of big scripts. Well, two. What About Bob?
Yeah.
Which is, it's
Great
a Ben
movie.
movie. It's a fun movie. It's kind of a hit.
Fun.
And Medicine Man, George Miller's Medicine Man. I'm sorry, John McTiernan's Medicine Man.
Right. That's why we talked about
horrendous.
A horrendous movie.
I've never
like,
seen
who
it.
the fuck wrote this movie?
Should I watch it?
Yeah, go.
Kind of.
You know what?
Okay.
You kind of should watch it.
I should watch all John McTiernan's. Yeah.
You should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then he wrote and directed the film Eight Heads in a Duffel Bag.
A
The
bang
Joe
favorite.
Pesci comedy.
Have you ever seen it?
No.
It's pretty fun.
I should watch all the Joe
There's
Pesci's.
there's like 8 heads in a duffel bag.
Interesting.
Tell me more.
And so basically
Gets lost or something? I watched it.
It gets
For
lost. Joe Pesci plays a hitman.
I'll hold my questions until
Okay.
after I observe the film. Yes.
His last, fair enough. Yeah, you should hold your question. His last, no, Jesus. Then it's Holy Man, the Eddie Murphy
Which I
bomb.
watched for the first time recently, and is one of the most
Whoa.
insane films I have ever
Wait, is that
seen.
No, I'm thinking of Golden Child. Never mind.
Yeah, Golden Child's all right.
I enjoyed
Holy
that.
Man
I watched
stinks.
it
Holy Man
once.
is like almost impossible to describe, but it like feels like trying to make a Dead Poet Society for Eddie Murphy. It is weirdly like more
feels
of a
strange.
drama, and also much like Dead Poet Society, Eddie Murphy is maybe only in 30 minutes of the movie, and Jeff Goldblum's actually the lead.
Definitely.
Right.
But the
right.
premise is that Eddie Murphy is like a weird spiritual guru they find on the side of the road who may be magical or is like a lunatic, someone with like mental illness and
I must have seen
amnesia.
this. I think I've seen this.
And Jeff Goldblum is an exec who works for a cable shopping channel.
Who like makes him a
And he
sort
puts
of
him on the
TV
air,
star.
and it
Right.
almost becomes like a network thing where he like goes on these long rants, like anti-consumerist
Ooh,
rants,
interesting,
but
yeah.
it makes the sales go up.
Mm.
So he's commodifying this. It's an insane movie.
Do you think that was an inspiration for 1 Million Merits?
Absolutely.
Good. I love 1 Million Merits.
Oh, well.
Welcome to Mooseport is his final basically
Which I
his final
moose-ported
credit.
recently and is not a very good movie.
Which is Gene Hackman's final
Yes.
film.
That
right.
guy just
Wow.
starts his career with like a fucking seismic. He wins the
Yeah.
Oscar for an original screenplay, and then you're just like,
That happens not infrequently.
absolutely.
It's so interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want me to open the dossier? Why not?
Crack
Okay.
open the dossier.
Dossier.
Yes. Okay. So Tom Schulman was disheartened, I guess, the early arc of his career trying to be a Hollywood screenwriter. He was writing stuff, like probably trying to get stuff sold, right? You know, that he was just writing genre stuff and comedies and whatever. And he writes Dead Poets, not thinking of it as a commercial script, but more, you know,
calling card writing sample.
Paying homage to this teacher he had. He said a very volcanic teacher who would talk about theater and acting and movies, and we'd all go out to drinks, and, you know, he imbued me and not him and the teacher, I think him and the other students, but they were all like, you know, fired up by this teacher.
It's like that classic story of like someone's trying to break through in Hollywood, no one will open the door for them, and then you know, someone gives them the advice of just like, write the movie that only you can write. What's the personal story that only you have?
Yeah,
that's the thing. Right.
So he's got all this nostalgia. He went to Montgomery Bell Academy in Nashville, Tennessee.
Okay.
And he also, I guess, had a stern dad who didn't want him to, you know,
be a Hollywood screenwriter
or whatever.
Didn't want him to
be in Hollywood, right?
No son of mine will ever put heads in a duffel bag.
The real teacher's name is Samuel F. Pickering Jr. And much like the character in Dead Poets Society, he was an alum who had returned as a teacher. And much like Dead Poets Society, he left pretty quickly. I'm not sure if he got fired or anything, but like he moved on, and then he ends up at the University of Connecticut. He becomes a bit of a minor celebrity after this movie comes out, obviously, because he's the real Dead Poets Society guy. Schulman decides to set the film in the 50s, even though this, I think, had more of this experience in the 60s. He'd been born in 1950. I do think this movie has no sense of when it's set.
I agree.
And it sort of gets away with it because boarding schools are weird and hermetic and like trapped in time or whatever. But I'm like, I think it was Hoberman's review. I was reading old reviews of it, and Hoberman was like, this movie's set in the 50s? Like, there's no like sense of that. Like, there's no music. There's no, you know, like sense of what's going on in the world.
Wondering if I clocked it until you're saying that right now.
I would say, I think a third or 2/3 into the film, someone mentioned it's 1950 something, and I was like, oh, of course, that makes sense.
Yeah, wow.
Or maybe I wikied it actually.
At first, he writes it more about the teacher. He returns to the script, he revises it, makes it more about the students, you know, which, there you go. And he thinks about Neil as the sort of student that goes too far. I guess is sort of whatever. I mean,
too far doing what?
I don't know. Getting too into acting. I mean, this script is so...
JJ,
this interview is making me feel justified. No. Carry on.
No, but I totally got that. But I think it's like, I was thinking about The Holdovers when I was watching it.
Yes.
And I think that feeling of the script being a bit like, what's happening? Why does this matter? And like the fact that all the boys have these completely different sort of needs and things that they do because they're inspired. And one of them is kissing a girl while she's sleeping, which is very distressing.
It is the element of this movie.
Josh Charles
does make you kind of tip your head and go like,
I was like, what's happening?
Really?
Also,
that's inspirational.
Yeah.
This is like,
he's like, I had to do it. I'm so sorry I had to. And I'm like, this is so distressing. But it is sort of, but it feels very like, it's like vibes, you know?
Yes.
It's like we're in this place, man.
It certainly has like a very kind of comforting autumnal feeling.
Yes, exactly.
And also this sort of, I know this movie's 89, but it feels like it's starting to synthesize the look that I feel like becomes the dominant 90s prestige drama look.
Yeah.
Yes. This kind of buttery golden colors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Absolutely. I mean, and in this movie, again, it's got a great director. It's got an incredible John Seal, incredible DP. Like, but anyway, he's taking the script around. Nothing's really happening. He's not getting any traction. And then at some point, Jeffrey Katzenberg at Disney calls and it's basically like, I hear someone wants this script. I want it now. You know, and he was basically like, $4 million. Like, give it to me immediately. Like,
Jesus.
Yeah, right. You know, and
it basically became a one-person bidding war.
I guess so.
Yeah.
The way he puts it is everyone else had passed on the script and not really read it. Jeffrey had actually read it. And he had someone who's gone to private school. He had whatever, it resonated with him or whatever. And he just got super excited.
This is also fairly early Touchstone, which was such a big project for Eisner and Katzenberg. And a lot of their thing in trying to find, like, what are the grown-up movies that Disney makes through this offshoot was, like, find good vehicles for depreciated stars. That was a lot of their strategy was, like, being like Richard Dreyfuss, Bette Midler, you know? like making splash, you know? Like, what are the scripts that everyone else in town is passing on that we can make with someone who has name value but has a couple flops in a row?
So you can get them for cheaper, or it's like they'll be more interested in doing something of it. Yeah.
Yes.
Word.
But you could see this script being a good vehicle for that kind of thing of like, you got this big, showy teacher role that you could get a former A-lister to do without having to work that many
Was Robin
days.
in that space in his career, though, at the time?
Well, so let's get to that.
He was hotter.
Yeah, but they bring aboard Jeff Kanu, of course, the director of Revenge of the Nerds, to direct this film. Katzenberg is so hot on this movie that they cannot find a star, and Katzenberg's like, don't worry about it. We'll find the star, start scouting locations, get ready. And so they're all set to go. And then Disney finally is like, kill this project. There's no star. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Yeah.
And they all get summoned to the office. And Katzenberg is like sort of monologuing about what a great job they did. And Kanu says, let's get on with it. I feel like I'm having my back rubbed until I die. And Katzenberg is like, okay, we're firing you. Sorry.
Now, JJ, who is not fired because he did his job correctly on this one, had alerted us a couple weeks ago. There was a crazy sentence on the Wikipedia, and I need to research it. And what David just read is the actual researched answer to what happened. The way the Wikipedia recounts it, which is insane, is that they hired Jeff Kanu, then hired Robin Williams, but Robin Williams didn't want to do the movie with him. So he signed on, then refused to show up to filming during the first day of shooting.
Yeah.
So until they fired him, and then they burned the sets down.
That's what I read, and I was like, that's what I thought you were going to say.
I
no
don't
citation.
I don't think that's what happened.
No, it's not what happened. What you just read happened. Jeff Kanu is
Williams
fired from...
had been considered, but he'd never gotten attached. He's expensive. He's a big star. Like it was more like that. It was someone like that they'd circled.
I just don't even know how that Wikipedia story comes about. It's very dramatic.
So then it gets shopped around. At a certain point, they are told that Kanu can still direct it if they can get Alec Baldwin or Liam Neeson. Which is crazy. Neeson is crazy because he's not that famous.
Did he do that Julie Foster movie yet? He must have. No,
that's later.
That's like early 90s.
It's an odd choice.
I mean, he would be good.
He would be.
When did Taken come out? I'm kidding.
Rip out those fucking pages.
I miss, actor
I do
Neeson.
A very particular set of poems.
And then occasionally you get it with silence or whatever.
Have you seen Naked Gun?
No, I need to.
It rules. But the thing it gets so right is how funny it is to have him say anything with that level of intensity. And they use both like Taken intensity Neeson, but also like Schindler's List intensity Neeson.
Oh, good.
Where it's like, give him a fucking paragraph monologue of the dumbest shit in the world and just tell Neeson to play it.
Yeah,
like it's the most important thing ever.
That's like Andre Braugher in Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Yeah, it's exactly like that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All this doesn't work out. The rights revert back to Disney, and about a year after, Katzenberg is like Dustin Hoffman. How about that?
I just saw him.
You just saw Dustin Hoffman?
Yeah.
At Megalopolis? Was he going like this?
I still haven't seen it. I bought it, and I'm like, I can't wait to watch, and I just haven't brought myself to it. But yeah, I saw him. And I think Tessa had a moment where she's trying to they're trying to hug each other, and then they tried to she tried to lift him. It was like
he's very small.
He's very old and small.
Yes.
But I was like, Dustin. Anyway, continue.
He wanted to direct it and star in it, which sounds complicated.
I agree.
He's got a bit of a reputation even at this time for being kind of wishy-washy. Like he'll get involved in a project, he'll get really nitpicky and perfectionisty about it, and then he'll drop out.
Well, he infamously only makes 3 movies in the 80s. Am I correct about that? I feel like the 80s for him are Ishtar.
It starts to get out of control.
And Rain Man.
Really?
He slows way the fuck down, partly because he freaks out over the failure of Ishtar, and partly because he becomes so controlling that he kind of boxes himself out.
I think he is legendarily controlling at that point. I'm going to give you the full list of movies he made in the 80s. Sorry,
because his 60s and 70s are obviously
Tootsie, and Ishtar and Rain Man and Family Business in 1989, right at the end there.
So
but
it's 4,
and then there is also the Death of a Salesman that he does first on stage,
and then
TV
sure,
which is very bad.
Yes.
And Hoffman is going crazy. Now, a big thing in the original script is that Keating is dying of cancer.
Insane.
Yeah.
And Hoffman's like, I'm going to lose all this weight to like portray this. Thank God they cut that out of the movie. Or, I mean, whatever. Yes.
That's
mean,
like and I'm
or if you're going to have that, you also can't have a kid committing suicide.
It's
like
too much.
fucking darkness.
I assume that was a Peter Weir judgment call.
I don't know. But anyway, he's going crazy basically with his auteuردom, but then he drops out. And they go back to Robin Williams. Robin Williams has obviously made Good Morning Vietnam, which was a hit, but then since then he's had a couple flops. Mm-hmm. He hasn't really done anything.
Well, so Good Morning Vietnam is 86?
87. Yeah, he hasn't really done anything. This is saying he has flops, but he has nothing. It's just...
Maybe it's in his personal life.
Is JJ fired?
Well, it's a quote from somebody, but anyway.
I feel like he has a run of flops leading into Good Morning Vietnam.
Yeah, exactly. Like Moscow on the Hudson, Best of Times, Club Paradise, Seize the Day, all these kind of nothing
Never
movies.
Heard of any of this.
It is crazy that he made a movie called Seize the Day.
Yes. Based on the Saul Bellow book.
Right.
A pretty limp film and like his first attempt at doing this kind of drama.
Peter Weir has Green Card, which is a movie he wrote.
Yes.
He's been trying to make it. It just got delayed for a year for whatever reason. Katzenberg calls him up and is like, hey, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm fucking waiting on this Green Card thing and I'm going to the supermarket. That's the quote Peter Weir gives.
And was Green Card Miramax?
I don't know.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Miramax doesn't even exist then. What? It's 1989.
Who releases Green Card?
Green Card was, of course, released by Disney. Touchstone.
There we go.
And so Katzenberg's like, well, you want to make a movie? Like, I got a movie.
Yeah.
And Katzenberg had worked with him on Witness and is like sends him the script. Peter Weir's like, oh, it's about a school. I don't care about that. But then he reads the script and he's like, I like this. I was like, yeah, right.
Right.
Then he says, this cancer reveal sucks.
There we go.
Get this out of the script.
I mean, emblematic of Peter Weir's value on this movie, where you're like, this is a film of tremendous judgment and good taste, right?
Yes.
Right.
Like, his skill as a director in this film is largely invisible in terms of the craft. It's very unshowy. But, like, I think the things that, like, you're slightly allergic to in this movie, I watch and I'm like, I am so impressed he stays just on the right side of these things.
Yeah.
Right.
Because almost anyone else making this movie would probably make me vomit. And just knowing that it was supposed to have suicide and cancer is a perfect showcase.
Look,
That's
Tom
crazy.
Schulman is like, this is my script. This is the ending. You want me to take this out? Are you crazy? Peter Weir's just like, look, you don't have to, but I'm not going to make the movie with this. Like in it. Like, so it's like me or this plot twist. And
it was set up as
Robin
a twist
Williams,
that you don't know he's been dying.
It's the third act thing. And then Robin Williams comes aboard and Peter Weir says to him, like, by the way, we're losing the cancer thing. And Robin was like, oh, good. Like, I don't like that. And so Peter Weir went to private school as well, the Scots College in Sydney. He said it was an ironbound school. I was a terrible student. So I did relate to that. And I did have a poetry lecture on William Blake, where the teacher woke me up and excited me about that. And so I kind of tried to put that into the movie. So, he relates to it, but it is a little bit of a higher job for Peter Weir.
Yeah.
Right. Like he is coming aboard pretty late.
Ethan Hawke, who he obviously works with on this movie, gave his interview like a year or two ago where he basically announced Peter Weir's retirement and it got a lot of headlines.
Is it?
It's he was doing probably some film festival retrospective talk or whatever, and they asked him about working with different directors. Well, where's Peter Weir? Why hasn't he made stuff? And he's like, he's basically retired. And then that headline carried over, right? He's just like, he just was kind of worn down by the industry.
Yeah.
But he had this line I think about a lot, and that I probably will bring up many, many times across this series, where he's just like, he was this really rare thing in that he was a popular artist.
Yeah.
And just the succinctness of defining him that way, where you're like, this was a guy who mostly worked within the studio system with major A-list stars and made like intelligent mainstream movies.
Yeah.
He was like with actual art and craft making movies for grown-ups that were commercial plays.
Yeah.
Right.
You know?
Ryan Coogler vibes. Like,
but
yeah,
but like weirdly, in a certain way, he starts out making these personal films that are so much about like Australia and its legacy and whatever. And then he becomes this like very emotionally invested director for hire in a bizarre way.
But I think we're so invested in like the auteur story, but like directing, like I don't know. It's like, it's a job, you know? And I think when people, someone like him, it's like he's just good at the job.
That's the thing.
And can be, like, there's just oh my God, I'm blanking. Help. Send help. Blank check. Mad Max. George Miller.
Yes.
George Miller, he said, which I thought, hello. He said, you have to, so much of directing is learning when to be passionate and dispassionate.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's so true. And I think that's how
because if you're passionate all the time, you'll just lose it. Burn yourself into cinders.
Yeah. And you'll be Dustin Hoffman and you're like, why am I losing all this weight to do this movie?
Coogler's magic to me is that he cannot make a film that isn't somehow him making the most personal statement he can at that time. And yet he is able to make it in a way that connects to everybody, which is kind of like a Spielberg magic.
Exactly.
Right?
And he calls himself a populist filmmaker. Like, Coogler's very clear about that.
That's just the language he works in.
Yeah.
Peter Weir has this sort of not bifurcation in his career, but there's definitely this shift where so much of his value comes from A-list fucking leading men love him, respect him, trust him.
Yeah.
And he becomes this director for hire in a certain way, but none of them feel like dispassionate jobs, you know? But it's like, this is an era where you still could have that level of clout because you're like, hey, Robin Williams wants to work with him.
Yeah.
Harrison Ford wants to work with him. Mel Gibson wants to work with him. Russell Crowe wants to work with him.
Yeah.
Jim Carrey wants to work with him. These guys are fucking turnkeys. And if this is the director they want, they get to make whatever fucking movie they want.
Yeah.
And this isn't treated as, well, this is Robin's little weird indie project.
No, this is a big studio movie.
Yeah.
All right, so when they're making it, you guys might be shocked to learn Robin Williams kind of liked to sort of be a little goofy and funny when he was doing his teaching scenes and stuff. Kind of like go into comedy mode.
You do one take as written, and then the second take, well.
So Peter Weir had to put the brakes on that.
Sure.
And said, look, the guy's not an entertainer. That's not what this character is.
Yes.
He's not the funny teacher exactly. He makes jokes and he smiles, and wanly. And
another example of good judgment. I think Peter Weir used just enough of the Robin stuff.
1,000%. It's like these sorts of watching the movie and watching Robin. He has such deep sadness in him.
He does, which is the magic of Robin Williams.
Exactly,
yes.
and for him to use and his deep empathy, and it's just for him to use that. To not be able to go to the comedy completely to be the shield for all of that.
Which he does it again with Jim Carrey and Truman Show. We'll talk about that a lot, but there's so many interesting stories he tells about the process. He's really good at, and even Witness is a version of this, where
he's made such good movies. It's crazy.
That's a Harrison Ford movie star movie where he's playing a cop and where he's really drilling down into there's a sadness in you that other people kind of
haven't been. Well, it's also because Harrison Ford's making that movie after 3, Star Wars and 2 Indiana Jones, and play a guy.
Right.
Yeah.
You're going to play a guy now.
I think he's
John Book.
But this is why these guys wanted to work with him is he was really good at taking someone with a movie star persona and all that heat and being who's the real guy at the center of this?
Yeah. And you can trust me with that guy.
Right. I'm pulling something honest from deeper within you.
Yeah.
So Robin Williams, yes, classically, yes, he would make you do one serious, then one silly, then one whatever. They did have a half day that they just let him go nuts, unscheduled, kind of didn't tell Disney about it. That's where the Brando and John Wayne stuff comes from.
Sure.
Didn't Ethan Hawke recently say how much he just hated him because he was so not serious? But Ethan Hawke is so overly serious, so I could see that.
Ethan Hawke, I think, also is very upfront about how fucking serious he was then.
Yeah.
Maybe he's a little more retrospective now, but that he was so up his own ass as this young actor.
Right. That he didn't get it. That it was why isn't this guy treating this the most important thing that has ever happened?
I think all these young actors like Josh Charles and him and, he talks about it. They were in that pool of young actors in the early 90s along with Damon and Brendan Fraser and all those guys who were coming up for all these roles at the same time.
There was a really
going
intense
to war with each other.
crop
Chris
of
O'Donnell.
young, white, brunette.
White? Wait, what?
But all of these, the School Ties group and the Dead Poets group, all these people who were overlapping. It is funny, Hawke's casting here, and obviously he was kind of the most experienced of all the actors because he had been
he's in that
Child Star,
Kid
Explorer.
movie.
But the rest of them were pretty much first big film,
Yeah. He's playing the least Hawke of the kids.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah.
Hawke is the ultimate man, you got to go out and learn and take your experiences.
He's not the later. You're right. He's not Richard Linklater as Ethan Hawke or Reality Bites Ethan Hawke.
I feel
or
like Hawke's persona as a person now is like forever student, right? That like every interview with him is just like, man, I get so excited. You go to a museum and you see a painting and it makes you feel something. And to watch him in this, being the young guy who was that serious and that artistically driven, be like, I don't know if we should be doing this.
Can you stop joking around, Mr. Williams, please?
Right. Less improv.
He wouldn't say action, Peter Weir. He would just throw a balled up piece of paper at the head of the person who's supposed to speak first.
I like that.
Instead of yelling cut, he would wrap his coffee cup with a teaspoon. I assume, Nia, you do the Clint Eastwood thing of you say, go ahead, and that's enough of that, right?
Yes, and then I don't realize it's a rehearsal, yes.
I read the Clint biography that Sean Levy just wrote, like not director Sean Levy, the critic Sean Levy, which is so good. And it does talk about how he would just start filming rehearsals, like as a matter of fact, and actors be like, what the fuck are you doing?
And
he'd be like, it's authentic, it's raw.
I love shooting rehearsals. I mean, I always tell like an actor when I'm rolling, or if I'm like, they're doing it, do it. And then I'll go talk to them afterwards. But I remember, do you remember when it felt like, I feel like it was, again, when we were in our like early 20s, when the industry was acting as though women had just started directing films and television.
Yeah, it was a technological breakthrough.
It was insane what we did. And then there was such a story around like women not saying action because action was so male and not saying cut because it was so aggressive.
It's violent. Yeah.
And I was just like, gee, could everyone fucking relax? So on my sets, my AD says action and my AD says cut.
Oh, okay.
But to be fair,
you're in like an egg, and no one is allowed to look at you.
I don't go to set.
I
direct from my helicopter.
Right, exactly.
And we ADR all the lines afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. And your helicopter is 20 feet above the ground. 20 feet above,
exactly. And
really
close.
It's
very windy shoot.
Sound department hates
hate me so much, but they keep coming back. No, but I do sometimes, if it, depending on the scene, sometimes I'll say, I'll call it.
Yeah.
And then I'll give a whenever you're ready. Because sometimes you can just tell when they're like, oh, they need a little something or whatever. But
there's also, I mean, it is a thing.
When Clint doesn't like the take, he says, that's enough of that, apparently.
Yeah. Is Clint Eastwood the only director to ever call print on auditions?
I think that's generally... The book really lays out how philosophical
Throw it in the Avid.
Like, the book is definitely not like he just wants to eat lunch, because it's like he was been doing this since the 70s.
Yes.
Like, he's a very good director.
And that he's just like, the more we do it, the more you're fucking it up. Like, I like whatever you know.
Has he met David Fincher?
Well, but that's the thing. But then some actors would come. I'm sorry to talk about Clint Eastwood, but I did just read this book.
Yeah.
Would, like Meryl Streep or whatever, and be like, what? Like, you're not going to let me find it?
Yeah.
And he'd be like, no, you're great. Standing right there, you look great. This is great. Like, we're done, And Kevin Costner famously fought with him on Perfect World, and he was like, "I'll shoot with a stand-in," and Costner had to back off.
To your point, he's been doing this for so long, Nia. Yeah. It's like what you're saying of like, it's a job. He knows how to treat it like a job.
Yeah.
And when he's working with fucking Costner and Meryl Streep, those are like two of the best performances those actors have given.
Definitely.
Where he gets into trouble is when he hires people.
Well, I agree. Right,
That's
when he hires literal non-professional actors, like great,
and it's like it's not going to get better than that. And it's like it probably would. Yeah, if you work with them
just
little bit.
Yeah. Also, it's so funny because I always like I had an actor who was like, I'm not going to be the first take girl.
Yeah.
Like, it's not going to be me. So I'm like, okay, I'll cover you second. Like, like, so you start to learn on that. So it's so interesting not to.
I mean, that's like a lot of directing, in my opinion, is understanding the different flows of different actors.
Well, also, I mean, I guess she'd already done the show. Like, but The Marvels is like her first movie. Iman Vellani.
Oh my god, Iman, I love her so much.
She's so good.
But she'd done the show, so she
done the show. But no, it was actually quite great because I got her. It was similar to getting Alfie after he did 28 years later because that was his first movie. But
that kid rules.
That kid's incredible.
He was great. Yeah. He's so funny. I think I think the first movie she's just surrounded by adults, but in my movie he has like a bunch of teens, and so
hell yeah.
They all bullied me, and he made fun of me because it took me too long to finish Uncharted. I was like, okay. I was like, I'm directing a film, bro. Like, sorry.
Were you trying to 100% it or just get to the end of the?
It's not like I was in story mode.
Okay.
I was in normal mode. Okay.
I'm sorry.
But I think, to be fair, it's not a long game,
and
it's not Uncharted 4. It's the first Uncharted. I'm a completionist.
No,
I was like, I'll play in order.
The first Uncharted. I mean, there's stuff about it that's fun, but then it's like, okay, now I have to duck behind this fucking statue and shoot 18 people. Yeah, I played the first 3 Uncharted.
But also, I mean, the story of Uncharted famously starts with Nathan Drake being a young boy, his uncle before he has a mustache.
Right. He's talking about.
Okay, I was like, I don't remember that. Yeah, the movie, that was a time.
It's just one of the funniest things to me that's ever happened in Hollywood development.
It's such a weird casting. All the casting is so strange.
Like
they took so long that they were like,
years of
Aldrich's got to be the fucking uncle now. We got to beef that role up.
But also, it's like they're just, and I listen, I appreciate a Boogie Nights Mark Wahlberg. I love Tom Holland. I think he's such a phenomenal actor. They're both miscast. It's just like, doesn't make any sense.
It is just so funny to me. They spent 15 years trying to do the version of that movie that everyone wanted to see.
Yeah.
And then they were like, but hear us out. We know we have failed to make the actual Nathan Drake adult movie that you all imagine. What if we did a prequel instead?
And also the thing is, Tom Holland's never going to grow into being Nathan Drake.
No. That's the thing with casting him. It's like, what do you think?
Exactly. It's like Timothée Swiss Chalet is never going to grow into being the Messiah of Dune.
Well, I disagree with you on that.
Ooh, fun. But didn't you find it strange? No, I love those movies. But didn't you find it strange how in the first movie, he's like, he has this flash forward.
Right.
And
to him is
he's in a stuntman's body with his VFX eyes.
You're right. He's never going to.
That's not that person.
His body is not going to change.
It will never change.
But you are also right that like it is the exact thing that makes Tom Holland the most incredible Spider-Man casting of all time. Of like they finally got a guy who you can have play 24 ever.
Yeah. And he's also so good as Spider-Man.
He's really good as Spider-Man.
Yes. Let me give you some takes from Ethan Hawke has talked about this, about how Peter Weir likes to quote cast for the final color. And what does that mean? Because he was basically like, Robert Sean Leonard is very shy and introverted, so he didn't make sense to me as this role, and I am the opposite, and so I didn't make sense in this role either.
Yeah.
But Robert Sean Leonard said that Weir said to him, like, don't think about the suicide at all. Like, you are not playing this as a boy who's doomed. You're playing this as a kid who's going on to stuff. And Hawke calls the Yop scene, your favorite scene, the most significant professional day of his life. It was the first time I really felt the experience of being an actor, where I could lose myself in a story and lose myself inside a collective imagination. They're doing steady cam, so it's like this, cool, long thing. That I don't know. Yeah, he liked it. All right, fine. This is a boring quote.
At least someone
I love Ethan Hawke, but that's kind of his vibe.
Yeah.
He'll monologue, and you're like, he liked it. Thank you, Ethan.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah.
And then they had fun making the movie. They truly did. I think it was freezing, but apart from that, like everyone was into it.
Where'd they shoot?
Delaware.
Oh, fun.
I guess. The budget was $16 million and the schedule was pretty tight.
16.
16.
Okay,
1-6.
Yeah.
No, sweet 16.
And so they had to do it really fast. And Peter Weir apparently selects music for each scene and plays the music while everyone's lighting and rehearsing and stuff. And then it will fade out right as he is starting shooting. So he's trying to sort of like set a tone.
I want to know the guy who has to like determine when it's time to.
I know.
Right.
It's like, oh God.
And I was going to say, harder to fucking do in like a pre-iPod era.
Yeah.
Now directors do that. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I fucking found a Bluetooth speaker.
We all read the Quentin Tarantino interview. Okay.
Right, you're just hitting the volume slider down. That must have been like actually a somewhat complicated maneuver. Anyway.
I don't do music on set like that at all.
No,
I mean, occasionally if we're doing a night shoots, I'll have a dance party, but
that's fine.
Yeah, and then there's a party scene in Hedda.
The whole movie's a party scene.
Yeah, that's right. Yes. Or like the scene where everyone's just like, "Ma." We genuinely had like the best like club music playing, and everyone was like, "Fuck yeah!" Like,
that's
it was
awesome.
Really, it was great. It was great. I'm sure some of my extras were drunk, but
I've had directors do that, and I do find that it helps sometimes.
Cameron Crowe is famous for that.
I'm sure there's a version of it that is annoying, but like if it's really
ADs usually hate it.
Yeah, I'm sure. If it's really being used as
chaotic,
like a mood setting thing,
right.
Exactly.
That's what it can help with. I feel like sometimes if it's well curated.
Yeah.
One thing I love about Dead Poets Society, I do want to give this movie its flowers, where I sometimes is the opening, just to start talking about the movie.
Sure.
Because it feels like a funeral.
Yes.
And you are watching it not knowing what this movie is about, being like, oh, did somebody die? And then it's like, no, school is beginning.
Yeah, their spirits are dying.
Yes. Like, because they're all like filing into this church.
Yes.
And it's so somber and it's so like funereal.
The great Norman Lloyd.
we'd love to welcome fucking Hagrid will be teaching creature, department. It just feels like Hogwarts. Like suddenly,
it is like it's like a wake for their fucking happiness.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
All these boys, these preppy Protestant boys who are gonna, become the leaders of America, I guess, right?
Did you have to pray? No, you wouldn't have prayed at your school.
No,
See,
so
they would fucking
I
pray
had to pray at my
To
school.
Satan.
At
so
my
many jokes like
Rumsey
you
Hall.
had to pray to who?
We had to God.
God?
To Christian God. To
Christian,
white
and it was
Jesus.
specifically right. Christian God.
Protestant, waspy God.
Yes.
We had to it was at Rumsey Hall. So we did the Lord's Prayer.
Right.
And then we had the Pledge of Allegiance, which it's so weird doing the Pledge of Allegiance. It's crazy.
Yeah.
when you look
Yeah,
back
it's
on
crazy.
it. And I remember the first time I realized I didn't have to say it was I saw this Korean student, also a boarding student, was like not saying it. I was like, oh,
Because she doesn't pledge allegiance to our flag.
yeah. I'm like, that person's not from this country.
Right.
And I was like, I'm from here, but I also could just not.
You
No
could
one's
just
gonna
not-
know.
Yeah.
There was no prayer in my New York City public schools, obviously,
Yes, of
because
course
that
not.
is against the law, at least for the next 6 months or
Yeah,
so.
but we'll see how long that lasts. Yeah.
But then I moved to England and there was praying because it is a religious country
Or the
nominally.
Anglicans, yeah.
And but I remember I was told as a 9-year-old, it's like, you don't have to if you don't want to.
I didn't get that.
Because I, didn't know what to say.
They
would say the Lord's Prayer.
St. Anne's was originally run out of the basement of a church a block away.
Yeah, right, of course.
Wow.
That is the St. Anne's Church, so it took that name.
Yeah.
And then once they had their own building, they kept the name.
And they killed God.
They killed God.
But
yeah.
it's the most heathenist place on earth, quite possibly. But people would always be like, "Oh shit, you went to Catholic school?"
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
It sounds like
Could they
you
hit
went
the
to
kids?
No. Well,
I went to a Catholic school where they could hit the kids.
there was the wrong kind of touching.
Well, see, this is the
This is well
yeah.
documented.
Honestly,
Google
I'll say
it.
in this,
Yeah.
as someone, there's moments where Robin
David's
Williams,
wife also went to my high school, by the way.
she did, yeah.
You.
And she is a public school teacher now. I want to clarify.
Yeah,
She's
she's-
not a private school teacher.
She made it out.
Yeah. But there's moments in this where Robin Williams is really grabbing the students like
Sure.
by the shoulders and stuff, and he's being very physical with them. And I was like, it doesn't seem unrealistic to me, but I was shocked by it.
Yeah.
It's like, you cannot touch students.
Well,
like,
sure, but I also think that's
yeah.
a good fucking,
now, I mean, yeah.
But
I
I think that's good judgment
Yeah.
from Weir, where you're like, yeah, like fireable offense. Like this movie has to end with the guy being fired. It can't
Is
just
he a
be
good teacher? This is the central question of Dead Poets Society. They mostly seem to just hang out.
I also think
It's a poetry class, though.
I think a
it is
lot of
cool though.
yes, I think a
Because
lot of
getting
this
them
movie's
excited by art.
cultural legacy, right?
Mm-hmm.
Our age, growing up, watching this movie for the first time in a world where we've already heard the things repeated. All of us
Carpe
knew
Diem,
the fucking
yeah,
beats
right,
and the
right,
parodies
right.
and whatever. I feel like the last 20 years of Dead Poet Society has been mostly a lot of things making fun of this type of teacher.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Right? Like that's
The
it's-
community episode
the
about
community
it
episode's a
is
great
funny,
one, but
right?
the idea of just
the
like
Colin Jost sketch on SNL where they all stand up and then, like one of them their heads get cut off. Yes,
right. But just
That
this
one's pretty good.
idea of like we all find this fun and inspiring, but actually,
I don't know, guys. I disagree. I
I'm not
had
saying
a couple teachers
he's a
like
bad
him,
teacher.
and like I had Mr. Rothwell when I was in public school for
Mhm.
2 years. He and I came from a Catholic school where they could hit the kids,
Mm.
and it was so. I was like, I didn't know what was going on.
sure.
I was like, we can't. I saw a nun hit a kid, and she was too angry. I was
Was
like,
it
that's
the
not
nun?
God. It was the nun, and so I know all about her. So if you want to know more about her,
Please.
her past before she was
Yeah.
killing people, but no, I had this teacher, Mr. Rothwell, and like he was very similar in the sense that he was absolutely ridiculous. He was an actor, of course,
Right.
and he was white, and when we were doing Raisin in the Sun,
Uh-oh.
he was like, "I'll be the part of this person," and I was like, "Okay, like that's great, cool." But he really wanted us to like learn how to think, and it was so clear. Even though he was ridiculous, we all were like, "Oh, like."
That's what
Right.
he's doing.
Yeah,
Like,
and but we
Right.
also were like, but I mean, I got myself in trouble. He was like, challenge, where are your sources in history class? And so in history class, I was like, what are your sources? And my teacher was like, the textbook.
Don't flip it back on me.
Yeah, she was like,
Yeah.
shut up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
This has been vetted.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a couple teachers that meant a tremendous amount to me that
Yeah.
changed my life that it all did that. Like all the
Yeah.
people who meant something to me were
They made you rip out pages. And
no, but I'm teaching you how to think, not what to
Totally.
think.
Yeah.
You know?
Absolutely.
And
Yeah.
like it felt empowering in that way and had that kind of like I'm putting this out there waiting to see the kids who need to hear this and who will respond. And then I'm really going to lock in with them, you know?
Yeah.
It's a very interesting. So the movie is about his year as a teacher with these boys. You don't see him teaching any other classes. I assume he does teach other classes.
Yeah.
Like he's not just teaching, you know,
but he's also,
juniors or whatever they are.
He's not
seniors.
the POV character. We start the movie with the boys. I mean, even to your point, the opening of this film, it's like you start with a shot of a mural of a painting of these well-behaved boys, right? Like literally like, this is the model of how we want you to look. Right. And then the camera pans down to a small child being dressed up in his uniform. The sort of feeling of the factory line of like, we're molding you to just be this. Right. And then going into this funereal procession, as you said.
And then he's introduced.
That is the announcement
like,
of
Williams. He's an alumnus and we're all welcoming Mr. Keating.
But we're seeing him basically from the POV of these boys in the pew as they're seeing just this guy sitting at the end of the line on the stage.
And it's an interesting high school movie in that there's no bully, really. There are meaner kids and like less kids who are less into it.
Got one kid who's a fucking fink.
There's one kid who is a fink, but he's more of like a little coward. Like
fink.
Right? He caves.
Yeah.
But it's like I watched this movie I hadn't seen it, and I was like, oh yeah, does Josh Charles play the bully? Because like that's what he usually would play in every other.
Just plays a normal forehead kisser. He plays a Prince Charming. All he's trying to do is rescue princesses by kissing them maliciously.
But like, it's about this like largely very sincere group of boys.
Yeah.
Who seem, I guess the movie's, you know, arguing like, oh, Mr. Keating helped them, you know, learn to think and love poetry and all that. But I'm like,
taught them how to be in touch with their emotions.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
they're
the
very like feely boys, and it feels like they're pretty on board with him pretty much right away.
I do find this movie interesting to watch now in a kind of peak Are Young Men Okay era, right? Where this is a movie that, as you said, it is kind of about him teaching them to not be afraid of their own emotions.
Yeah, because they're basically
more than
like,
anything
should
else?
we have a secret poetry society
where
we get like so worked up about Shakespeare and shit?
And I'm like, is this the healthiest version of a man cave ever?
But I mean, I went to a school where I loved English, I love poetry, I love Shakespeare and all that. And it's like I wasn't finding like tons of other kids who were like, let's do some late night Shakespeare
bringing
shit together.
Fucking cool lamps into the cave.
And then girls, and that's when things went off.
Yeah.
Well, the thing about theater, which I did in high school, was how you got to meet girls.
Yes. Yeah.
So that was crucial.
Yeah.
What does he say? That this is no Greek society?
Does he say that?
To no pederast? Is that what he means?
There's the point where they're like, what, you just hang out in a cave reading poems with other boys?
Right.
And Williams like kind of does the eyebrow wiggle of like,
not just boys.
Right. He says, I'll find the fucking line. But but yes, it does feel like he knows wisely, much like theater teachers often weaponize this, as you said, to be like, hey guys, don't you want to like know how to talk to women?
Yeah. You have to trap them.
Right. Obviously, there's no homosexual overtones in this movie, despite it being like a movie about a bunch of boys at school.
Another thing that's surprising.
Well,
like,
it's not surprising
no
because
themes,
of the
no
era.
bullies.
Did you go to all boys in England?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Have you heard of Meat Lips?
Oh boy.
Oh,
don't Google that.
Don't Google that. I like where this is going.
Did you go to all boys, Griffin?
No.
Okay. Did you go to all boys?
No.
Okay.
I go to England.
He's like, Ben sucks.
I go to England. I go to public school, at my local school when I'm 9 years old, and then to everyone's surprise, I tested into this like good school, like, but that was a boys' school. My mom was like, I must have been so hard for my mom. Like in retrospect, was like, I'm gonna send him to like a all boys school where he wears a fucking tie. Like, I was living in New York 2 years ago. Like, what is going on?
Adorable?
I was very adorable, of course. And
I have to see a picture when we're done.
Sure, I'll find a picture. But no, I don't know what Meat Lips is. Is that what you just said?
Okay, yeah. So from at my boarding school, some boys came from an all boys school, and Meat Lips is basically where a boy would go into his pants, rub his balls with his hands, and then smack a boy on the mouth and go Meat Lips.
Is this a British thing, or you're saying it's just a boy?
But I would say that sort of stuff was happening plenty.
I was always so worried about. Once I heard that, I was like,
will I get meat
men
lipped?
okay?
Are men
they would never do it
men
to
are
a
not
girl.
okay.
No, men are okay. Yeah, it was really crazy how focal your penises were in your daily lives.
Getting pantsed was a big thing in my
the
high
thing
school.
about a boys' school is like there's maybe too much familiarity and discussion of everyone's penises. Where it's like, you know, if there are girls around or maybe everyone kind of like knows to just sort of chill out a little bit. That's the problem with a boys' school. The advantage of boys' schools is that everyone's just lazy and stinky. Like, because there's
that's the advantage?
Well, I'm just like...
It smells bad?
Like, to me, what was crazy about going to a boys' school was girls' schools. Because all the girls I knew who went to girls' schools, those places were crazy. Like, it was so much psychological torment and awful shit. Girls were being so mean to each other. Whereas if you put boys together, yeah, there's a little bullying and stuff. Like, there's some jocks and but like, mostly it's just like 14-year-old boys. You're just like, you know, like, we're just disgusting.
Yeah.
Like, we're just all disgusting together. So it's sort of like
keeping you contained,
quote unquote,
that's
chill
what it is,
atmosphere, I guess. Yes.
Interesting. I don't know. Meat Lips is really unchill to me.
That sounds quite unchill.
Yeah. Maybe it's England's different. I don't know.
No, England's
actually, no,
gross
it's not.
too.
No, it's actually terrible. I have a couple of guy friends who went in England who went to boarding school and from the age of like 8, and they're all very sad about it.
Well, and especially boarding school in England, and I would meet people, and their parents would have gone to boarding school and they had never gotten over it.
Yeah,
because I feel like it's the Roald Dahl books and all that about his experience in boarding school of like just institutional bullying, like where it's like that sort of the older boys, like the structure of like, well, I was bullied, so now I'm going to bully you.
Yeah, the hierarchy.
Like, right? Yeah, exactly. Like it just seems awful.
Then you're like, obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
And then like teaching would be, I mean, the guy he's telling them to rip the book out, right?
Yeah.
That's a real thing. That's some fucking famous academic from the early 20th century who's like, yeah, poetry should be like put on a graph of like how good it is.
That is actually the most insane.
It's
when
not
you
made
read that,
up. Like,
it's so crazy.
Yeah. And like, I mean, good for him being like, that's silly, like, or whatever. But like, yeah, it's like, that was, I guess, how frigid their education was supposed to be.
Did you guys have this game?
Oh boy. Yeah,
I'm
of
not
course,
looking.
Ben.
Yeah.
Yes. I'm not looking. All right.
Did you like?
Go ahead. Wow.
Ben is
I
out
was gonna
punching
say,
boys.
Yeah,
It's crazy.
doorknob and safety really were cast a big shadow over my adolescence.
What does that mean? Doorknob safety?
That if you fart, you have to call safety before anyone else calls you out on it. And if they say doorknob and correctly accuse you of farting before you've said safety, then they get to keep punching you until you touch a doorknob.
Oh my gosh.
That one I don't know. But
Really?
that's crazy.
I don't know if that's sounding vaguely familiar.
It's so the mind of a teenager, like this sort of like inventiveness of punishment.
This is the other thing.
Like,
Look, the internet
so
existed
awful.
when we were teenagers, but like social
Sort
media
of.
didn't exist in the same kind
We
of
had
way.
AIM, yeah.
These things weren't open source.
yeah, the
Whatever you
most
were
we had was like
experiencing-
some instant messaging
Right,
drama.
but like
right,
whatever you
yeah.
experience at your school, you're like, this must be the most universal thing in the world.
Right,
I just assumed all three of you were going to laugh uproariously when I said doorknob and safety. For all I know, maybe no one else has ever done this.
Reddit, our nostalgia.
This is
Oh,
what I'm
Anyone else
saying,
play
though.
safety doorknob when farting as a
We
kid?
couldn't go to Reddit to find out if this was a game.
Do you want to Reddit Meat Lips?
Yeah, Reddit Meat Lips. r/Meat Lips. The line Williams says is, "We weren't a Greek organization; we were romantics."
Sure.
yeah.
Yes,
I mean,
which I guess is
look.
more of a fraternity.
Right.
Very
I mean,
cute.
the what Keating is doing is just being like, hey, this textbook is silly. We're gonna like think about art in a more meaningful way, blah blah. Right.
Yeah.
But then the kids are so into him that they are like, what was they find the old yearbook
right.
and they're like,
Yeah.
oh, you had the Dead Poets Society. What was that? And he's
And
like,
they're like almost half mocking, even though they like
Right.
him. They're like, "What is this dorky thing?" And the
Yeah.
way that he, with such inner confidence, like says the thing about like we sucked the marrow out of life, like we like
Yeah.
fucking lived it up. This shit was rad.
right.
You see them all get sparked of like, oh fuck, is it cool to care about shit?
But that's the age when you're so receptive to that, actually.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You need
They're
someone to tell you
impressionable.
like it's okay to feel things.
Yeah.
It's
1000%.
okay to be like genuine.
Yeah.
And that scene is so intoxicating.
Yeah.
I mean, we're jumping ahead now, but yes, it is crazy to me rewatching this how like the first 15 minutes of the movie you're like, "Oh shit." Almost all of the iconic stuff happens in the first 15 minutes.
it's true. A lot of the
Really?
Like,
big,
the
the Carpe
first
Diem, the
class-
ripping out the
Yeah.
Oh, Captain, my
yeah.
Captain,
Oh,
like
Captain, my
all
Captain
that
gets
Oh, yeah.
stuff
mentioned.
is
Yep.
set up basically in the first class alone.
Mm.
Yep.
You're like, most of the cultural reputation of this movie is basically the first 15 minutes and the last 5.
Yeah.
You know, with like the stuff in the middle is the stuff that I think, not that's forgotten, but is less discussed. But
Also, it's less exciting. Like,
yeah,
Josh Charles kissing a girl and like, you know, her boyfriend and blah, blah, blah. It's like, nah, who cares?
I think the middle act of this movie is pretty dull. Yeah. Yeah.
It's the duller part.
Yeah.
But yes, he hits the ground running. This guy fucking first class. It's just like, here's my
another
deal.
question about this guy. I hate to nitpick this guy, but it's like, right, he had such an exciting high school life, I guess.
Okay.
Went to Cambridge.
Yeah.
We learned and he studied English. Now he's fucking back at like his private school that he went to.
He says it. He said, I love teaching.
Just go teach somewhere else.
Where's his partner?
Yeah, who's he married
She's
to?
in England.
Yeah.
It's a
Get back to
girlfriend.
England, then. Fucking what you doing here in Snowtown,
Robert Sean Leonard
Massachusetts?
asked
Or whatever.
Doesn't the autumn and the winter, doesn't it look so nice?
It's
It's
That's the
very
magic
it's
of this
very
fucking
slow.
movie.
It's so
Didn't you guys-
romantic. I
You
love
guys
it.
have a few teachers. I had a few teachers at my school who had gone to the school, like at my high school, who were like alumni, like 2 or 3. And I remember being just like, you wanted to come. I mean, I like the school fine, but I was like, you wanted to come back here? You didn't
But
want
do
to
you
go
find now that
somewhere
you have
else?
people you went to school with who are now doing that? Because there are a couple people I
know
went to high
one.
school with. And I'm like,
That's a good question.
just go somewhere else.
It's just like,
It's
come
fine.
on.
There must be 1 or 2.
Go Carpe Diem in like Baltimore or something. I
Yeah,
don't know.
actually, Carpe
Get out of
Diem.
here.
I will say those also weren't the teachers that like changed my life. I definitely had a couple who had gone to the school.
Yeah.
They were not the ones who really stuck with me, whatever that says. No, there's the scene, the Robert Sean Leonard scene. It does feel like he says that where he's just like, if you're so great, why the fuck are you teaching here?
Yeah.
Right.
And his answer is, it's what I love doing.
Right.
And I think the subtext of that also is that, like, because when he shows up on the class the first day, he's like, what's the name of the fucking school?
The school that they're at?
Yeah.
Welton Academy.
Right. He says,
Helton.
right, I'm also a Helton
Wait a second.
graduate. Like, he's leading with this sort of sense of, I know how much this place sucks.
Yeah.
I'm someone who made it out the other side. I think the reason he goes back there is because he wants to, like, repay the loop.
Yeah,
These
exactly.
are boys who are going to get fucking crushed.
Like, save them.
Which that makes sense to me as sort of like that's his noble mission. Although it's interesting. Again, it's like there's a lot of movies in this movie that I am maybe more interested by because like there's the scene early-ish on where the other teacher, not an administrator, kind of calls him out being like, you're doing what? Like, you're ripping out pages and shit? Your kids are running around?
They're friends though, right?
And they're
Yeah,
friends. And he's kind of saying
and
it
William
is sort of
says,
like
you're a cynic. And he goes, no, I'm a realist.
Yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
And the guy's basically saying like, look, I'm not mad about you doing it, but but like, I don't think this is going to work
He's like,
out for you.
Why are you telling them all that they can be artists? You're going to turn them all into frustrated failed artists, right? Like he's basically saying, don't empower all of them.
Yeah, like just keep it cute, you know?
Right.
You don't want
He's-
to,
Giving the advice essentially of like, also like, don't like make a false promise of they're going to be able to do whatever they want. And I guess that's pointing to the end of the movie, but I find the end of the movie a little dishonest. So
Well, at the end of the movie, that friend of his, he's walking with his class outside.
and he gives him a nod.
Yeah,
He's like,
which is very cute.
Keating's up in the tower.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. I don't think this guy's ever long for the school. He doesn't fight the firing. It feels like even if they hadn't fired him, I wouldn't be surprised if this guy
He
left
left
after
after,
a year. It feels like he wants to go back there.
Right. He wants it to be something and he wants to be able to do this, but it's like the principal of this school is like, well, I think children are awful and books should be shouted at them and I will paddle anyone who disagrees with me. He's like the worst guy in
paddling
the
scene
world.
is so icky.
The paddling
Ugh.
scene kind of
Sucks.
rocks. Weird kind of knocks that out of the park.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know he does. He does.
It's
very
really, really
well done.
good.
No,
Yeah,
but I
it's-
think they don't expand on it that much. It's a throwaway moment. But the very attractive blonde woman he has a frame photo of on his desk, who's in England. I just have to imagine that this is sort of like, you know what? I'll go back there and teach for a year.
Yeah.
While she's doing a graduate program
sure.
abroad or something.
Yeah.
It feels like there's some reason why he has to be long distance with his girlfriend
Yeah.
for a year.
It doesn't come up, but yeah.
And so why not do this rather than I want to be a fucking part of the firmament of this place for decades?
Yeah, even when he shows up, like his energy is just so, I mean, it's very Robin Williams-y, but it's so like, I don't know, ephemeral.
It is a perfect use of him. You were
it
saying
is.
how important Robin Williams was to you. He
Mhm.
was just like, for our generation,
Yeah.
in the 90s, he was the biggest.
He's the guy.
He was the guy.
Yeah.
And it to be a child and be like, this guy makes like the best family movies.
Mm-hmm.
He also feels like the ultimate celebrity. Anytime he shows up on TV, he's going to be funny. And yet you're aware like he is taken seriously by grown-ups.
Yeah.
There's
It's
this side of
true.
him that I'm not getting yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That he's not just inventing flubber out here.
Yo, Flubber was my shit, bro.
Flubber rules.
Flubber was. I haven't seen it in 30 years.
I
maybe,
remember having a couple notes on that one as well.
When you were 8
That
with your pen?
screenplay, I think I was 11 when I saw Flubber, and I was too old for Flubber, possibly. When
I
did
don't know
Flubber
when
come
I
out?
saw
Flubber's
90
97?
Yeah, that was 11.
97, 98.
Remember Jack? Jack's kind of fun.
Jack I've
don't
often
think I
referred
like
to
that
as
one.
my least favorite movie ever made.
Jack,
I like
Jack
that
is
one.
tough.
Yeah.
That's a tough movie. But
Yeah.
It's sad at the end.
yeah, sure.
Yeah. It's also sad at the
right,
beginning.
sad the whole
That's
time.
how he
when it's-
ages a lot.
Yeah.
That was upsetting. I didn't like
Directed
that.
by
Oh yeah,
Francis
Francis Ford Coppola.
his low point.
But Francis, okay, we can't talk about Frank. Okay,
We can't.
Can.
Yeah.
no, it's too much.
You haven't lopped it off yet. You got to lop it off before we talk about Frank.
Wait, lop it off.
Megalopolis.
Oh, I haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, exactly.
gotta
You got to
lop.
lop it off.
Oh yes, yeah. I listen, I bought it. I was so excited. I went to see it in theaters. I wanted to, and then I just never got around to it. And then I just do I have time in the day?
Look, he's
I need
threatening
to.
to recut it. It's not finished. There'll probably 7 more versions
Honey
of
bunny.
Megalopolis.
Yeah. But he's from an era where it was like, here's the director's cut and the extended cut and the this cut and the that cut. And it's like, but you made the movie with your own money, so it should just be your cut, right?
It's
Like-
true. Who's
Yeah, who are you
who's
fighting
giving
with?
you notes, Franny?
Yeah.
He did an interview, and maybe it's already come out by
I
this
bet it
point.
was normal.
But he did an interview recently, very normal, where he was like, I might try doing a weirder cut. And I'm like, a weirder cut, my guy?
Oh my
You had no
God.
notes on this fucking self-funded fever dream?
Ugh,
By
what
all
happened to
means,
Adam
go
Driver?
off.
Is he
Show me
okay?
your weirder
I'm
cut,
gonna
but
do an
why
impression.
wasn't that the first cut?
I should have Dustin Hoffman.
It's
on
long
it.
as well.
It's pretty long.
It's
pretty
pretty
long
long.
movie.
3
Yeah,
hours.
it's not like the longest movie, but like
Okay.
it's up there for length. It's
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
the shortest either. Deb Hote Society. So yeah, they rip out the book and he says Carpe Diem.
I like
It's
that
just-
they don't pathologize this character too
Do you
much,
think
that they
lesson
don't
plans?
over-explain him,
Okay.
that he does feel a little magical.
Well, because now if the movie came out now, there'd be a scene where you'd see they'd realize he's an alcoholic and
There,
blah
there
blah
would be
blah.
20 scenes.
Right. There's a sort of a purity to just like, yeah, we don't really know. We know he's an alum.
It would absolutely
That's
open
kind of all
with
we
this
know.
guy like walking into the building with his
Yeah.
briefcase on the first day.
But I mean,
right.
like, I love The Holdovers, a movie I think
Yeah,
you
me too.
only like.
I like, yeah.
That to me is a better sort of version of because the same vibe, obviously. It's
Yeah.
a chilly, period boarding
Yeah.
school in Massachusetts, where it's just like the teachers are like, I'm a crusty piece of shit.
Mhm.
Like
Sure.
I shouldn't be here. If I wanted to, if I'd achieved my goals, like I wouldn't be here.
Mm.
But I can still help you. Like hurt people can still help
Well, yeah,
each
but
other.
that movie is almost the exact shadow self of this movie, right? That's
Yes.
a guy who's stuck here forever, and you're like, why? You seem tortured and you're torturing others.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
And also, it is from his perspective more than the kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it is a similar feeling. I had a similar feeling of like, we're just vibing out. We're just look at the dorm, look at the school, look at
Yeah.
the architecture, New
It's
England.
gorgeous.
Yeah.
Dead Poet Society is a beautiful movie. And
Yeah.
it really, anytime I'm sort of just when I was watching it, I'm like, I don't really.
Think
I
about
was
the
just like,
color
this
palette,
looks so
though.
fucking. Of course I
It's
do.
nice.
Autumn.
But I'm like, the
Autumn.
New Hollywood, right, brings about a kind of shift in the visuals of American film, I would argue, where people were trying to avoid a feeling of like overly manicured sumptuousness, right?
Yeah, which then you're like, why is it so ugly?
Even a lot of the big epics of the 70s and 80s were like
Hey,
lit.
Pacino, what's so ugly?
Why so ugly, baby?
Were lit a lot more flatly than the like
Mhm.
equivalent movies of the 60s and before that,
Yeah.
right? Because there was this feeling
I
of
mean-
like we're going for a naturalism, a roughness.
Yeah.
This movie still has like the grain structure of like the 80s before the 90s really like improved film speeds, and then you get these films that just look like immaculately shiny and glossy.
Yeah.
And it feels like that style comes back into fashion, but it does feel like this movie establishes like a color palette and a lighting scheme
Yeah.
that then kind of becomes the default for like sensitive, serious studio dramedy.
Yeah.
John
Would you call
Seal.
this a dramedy?
I would call it a dramedy.
Yeah.
A light drama.
It was nominated as a drama in the Golden Globes. I would call this a drama. I would call this a straight up drama. It has suicide and stuff in it. I guess it's light-ish in that like the first chunk of it is like, oh, he's a nice teacher. But like it's kind of a sad movie. Like, because even when he's being, it's just like, you're just like, this sucks.
Yeah.
This fucking sucks. These boys got to go to this fucking place. Norman Lloyd, Norman Lloyd, right, is the principal, you know, who's
he's
like,
great.
He is great.
So good.
You know, it's just like, this sucks. John Seale, who shot it, just to reference the, you know, Weir picks him up from out of Australian obscurity for Witness. And he had done, you know, Mosquito Coast. Like he'd been working with Weir for a second.
Yeah.
But he'd also done, right before this, Gorillas in the Mist and Rain Man, which are similar vibe.
Yeah.
Where it's like we're going back, like you're saying, to this kind of like burnished, more lush, kind of prestige-y look for these kinds of movies. And then right after this, he does Lorenzo's Oil, which is a gorgeous movie.
Right. But that feels like the fully burnished version of it, as you're saying.
And then, but then, like, and then, of course, he wins the Oscar for English Patient a few years from now, which is
for
like
me
the
is
ultimate.
The apex of exactly.
Right. Yeah.
Right. I'm like, we finally perfected the 90s Oscar movie look.
Right. And then people are like, enough already, you know, like,
because
that's
now
sort of
people are like, is that movie even good?
Right.
And then he shot Fury Road,
good.
right?
Yeah, I saw it in high school.
He sure did.
Sorry, say it?
He shot Fury Road.
And 3,000 Years Long. He's only worked, he's basically retired, but
Isn't he 100?
John Seale is
so
82.
He's so
old.
I honestly, George Miller and him shooting Fury Road, I'm just like, baby, are you okay?
It is the ultimate. I feel like with each passing year, it just becomes harder to understand how that movie was made.
Yeah,
and the
100%.
more information that comes out, and especially
they took all these vehicles onto the Fury Road.
Oh, of course. Okay.
And the Duforier was there and so on and so forth.
But I do feel like it is the ultimate movie that filmmakers cite where they're just like, I can't get my head around this.
Yeah.
It's like, I cannot, it's Soderbergh's famous quote where he's like, my 3 questions are, how did they ever finish making this movie?
Yeah.
How did no one die?
Yeah.
And I forget what the third one is. Yeah.
Yeah.
The fact that it's like a masterpiece, let alone a movie that cuts together is insane.
Yeah. No, it's I find it especially like, because I read Kyle's book about it and
shout out.
Yes, who I think is such a great writer. And you know, you're just like, I could have never done that because the amount of fighting he had to do, obfuscating, ignoring, I don't know, running off into the wilderness to avoid, you know, like, it's crazy.
And also like 15 years of not making it, being like, no, not right.
Yeah.
You know, like, I got to stand my ground. I know exactly what this fucking thing is. And then it's just like, everyone hated him while he was making it. And then saw the screening and was like, oh, you were right.
Yeah.
Like, how the fuck do you like have
crazy.
that clear sense of it in your head?
Yeah.
And somehow get exactly what you want out of everybody, even in a way at a time where you can't communicate it to them.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's madness.
Fascinating.
Madness. Okay, so what else happens about the book?
Scene
about
one.
The pages,
of the
Carpe Diem.
He sparks them pretty quickly.
Yeah.
They're on board. As you said, he has the conversation with the other teacher. What were you going to say, Nia?
Well, I mean, the boys, Nuwanda, my favorite. He's my favorite, and he doesn't really act after it.
I know he's good.
High-level studio exec.
He did. Gail Hansen, I believe, is his name.
Yes.
Yes. He
was so cute.
Sort of flipped over to being in
an internship where
side.
I worked under his wife. Who was just like, you know what's weird? My husband was that guy in Dead Poet Society, and then he kind of never acted again. Yeah,
right.
I mean, good for him. I thought he was really good.
He's really good.
He's good. All the kids are good. Would you agree? I mean, like,
yes, yeah. I mean, but they all. I was just like amazed at how good the casting was because they all are like, you know, Ethan Hawke, Dr. Wilson,
yes,
and that ginger bastard.
But it is this like era of, as David was saying, there was just like a crop of brown-haired boys who were all just ready to go, and there were all these movies that kept being like, we need 4 of you.
That's the right now, though, don't you think?
I think we're finally back at
like it was so because I was talking to someone. I'm like, who's a movie star? Because there's so many white boys right now.
Yes.
But are any of them actually bankable? It's really interesting.
I think the bankability is a question, and it's very much still in flux. I think Timmy is the only one who has like definitively proven himself in that area.
Yeah.
But it does feel like there is a really strong crop of young white guys for the first time in like 20 years.
Yeah, and they're all I think similar energy. They're all battling it out until someone is like, you know what, I need 5 of you. I'm like, oh, thank God. Like, you know.
But the other difference is it feels like these guys all are a little bit Ethan Hawke, where they're just like, I fucking care about this, and I want to do it right, and I don't care about being seen as dorky about loving acting.
Sure.
And I want to work with good people. They're not just like doing the movie star playbook.
100%.
They want to be like important in a way that was seen as embarrassing for a while, and I think that's finally come back around.
1,000%.
It's interesting that like Hawke, who, as you say, like had already done kid performances, he goes on to obviously be pretty quickly. He's a star.
Yeah,
like by 94, we've got Reality Bites.
Yeah,
but even in 91, he did like White Fang. He was doing kind of like
But by Reality Bites,
Disney
he is like a fully defined thing.
Robert Sean Leonard, I feel like just became one of those guys everybody likes.
Yes.
But it's the house role is sort of like a whole reinvention for him. Before then it was like, oh, we love him and he does theater. And
I was going to say, I feel like he was one of those ultimate guys who was like, he's not that interested in chasing the Hollywood thing. He loves doing theater. He's so well regarded in theater. And
Does he have a Tony?
He has. Did he win for Arcadia?
I think
let's find out.
Right.
I think
no, you are wrong. He got a Tony nomination for Candida.
Okay.
I'm not sure if he did Arcadia. He did The Invention of Love. Oh, he won a Tony for The Invention of Love.
Yay.
Okay.
Well,
another Tom Stoppard play.
But did he do Arcadia?
I'll find out.
Okay.
I think he did The Music Man at some point.
That also sounds right.
He sings?
I can't remember. Yeah. Yeah. He replaced Craig Bierko in that Music Man. That's funny.
With Chenoweth?
I don't know.
Sounds right. Incredibly respected. David, I've never been wrong once on this podcast.
Not seeing Chenoweth. But you know, Chenoweth.
Look at the Arcadia thing because I need to be proven correct about this.
He did Arcadia. Woo! Tom Stoppard.
Thank you guys so much.
It is what I was going to say is it's funny
Billy
that it feels like
Victor Garber,
for someone who had this heat when he was young and such a huge part in such a huge movie that it was like, and then he kind of like eschewed that whole thing and really focused on theater. And then you're like, right, and he did 10 years of House and probably made $1 trillion.
Oh my God.
And I feel like
and it's set for life.
That House role, it's the perfect fucking role because it's like you probably only work one day a week.
Perfect work.
Yeah.
Like mostly Wilson in that show is sitting behind his desk and House comes in and is like, I'm fucking House, I'm a rascal, you know, and Wilson's like, oh boy. And then like once in a while he does more stuff, but usually you just do that.
He got paid like $150,000 per eye roll at Thing House Says.
That show is so great. I was rewatching it, and it's really good.
I mean, especially I would say the first 3-4 seasons.
I've gone beyond that point.
Also
just speed it off a bit.
On fire is like one of the most undeniable performances.
But also so inappropriate. Oh my God.
But I think the episode 3 stories. I mean, House is like beloved and people watch it all the time, but and yet it's sort of forgotten in that early prestige era.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
3 stories, which is from the first season of House. It is one of the most amazing pieces of TV writing.
Is that the one?
It's the one that reveals how he got the limp.
Yes,
it's like an early season
when Cuddy forces him to do the lecture.
Yes.
And
Mm-hmm. The Dead Poet Society. So he rips out the pages and he says "Carpe Diem."
Oh my God! Wait, okay, no.
No.
So this is what I was actually getting to, which was like the boys. They each have a thing they do, right? So the one boy is like, I'm gonna kiss a girl without her consent. Another one is, I like theater now. All of a sudden, Nuwanda is, I'm just gonna change my name to Nuwanda.
I'm gonna appropriate every culture.
Exactly. And he's also like, I'm gonna live that life.
Yeah. He's kind of the original Jake Sully.
Sure. In that he draws some paint on his face.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the
we gotta go. Gotta get out of here.
Oh man.
Yes. No, they each have a little kind of mini arc of like, what does he empower them to be able to do?
Yeah.
It is funny that with distance, you're like, a few of these kids didn't need the empowering.
Yeah, maybe,
Ethan Hawke, he empowers to be able to say a sentence out loud at room tone.
Which I like that scene.
It's really good.
Yeah. I feel like what this movie does really well, it's very hard in a film to show an audience art and be like, this is good. Or to explain
that is a great
passion for an art form.
It is the Mr. Holland's opus thing that David always talks about.
Which is what?
you spend an entire movie being like, this guy's fucking life's work, and you do the opus at the end and it sucks ass.
Yes.
Okay, look.
And you're like, this guy doesn't sell the audience on the power of music, and his music is bad.
To get mad about the Reddit, but there was some thread about my common complaint about Mr. Holland's opus, which is, of course, that yes, his opus is toilet. And people are like, he doesn't get the message that like actually all the kids he taught over the years are his opus. I'm like, I got that message. they kind of hammer it home. I know.
The movie's not like fucking Chinatown.
I actually read that thread.
It's not like you couldn't. You were telling us before you recorded that you read the Reddit way too much,
funny.
Nia.
I do.
We are your opus. And he's like, I guess so. I mean, like, to be clear, in the movie, he's such a curmudgeon.
Yeah.
But then he's like, oh, yeah, sure. And then they're like, and now you're opus. And they're like, and it's just.
Also, here's a retort.
Garbage.
If the kids are his opus, is that much of an accomplishment either?
They stink.
They all stink.
I can't sell this thing for a second.
No, but you are right. I do think this is a movie that like actually sells you the audience on what it's trying to sell the kids.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And I
super
also
well.
think it's a really good screenwriting decision that they like are sparked by the guy. They're like, what's this guy's fucking deal?
Yeah.
They go and find the yearbook. They find the weird thing that they bring to him almost half mockingly.
Yeah.
He doesn't say like, boys, this is what you need to do.
Yeah.
Go find a cave and read each other
exactly.
poems. Girls will show up.
He's sort of beyond reproach to me personally. I mean, minus destroying school property, the books. But I'm like, it's not. Well, they go off.
I like that they're basically self-motivated.
They
in
are.
doing
Yeah.
Well, there's this question of like, right, at the end of the movie, Robert Sean Leonard's character says, seeks his advice on the whole, like, I want to act and my dad doesn't want me to do it.
That scene is so good.
It's incredible.
The scene is really well acted. Keating doesn't do anything wrong.
No.
But Keating definitely sort of knows, like you can see on Williams's face, like his dad's not going to go for this. This isn't going well. Like, because Keating says, like, look, talk to him. Tell him how you feel
Say
about this.
exactly what you're saying to me.
Right. And then they have this second conversation where he's like, and you talk to him? And he's like, yeah, it didn't go well, but, and you're kind of like, no, it's not like Keating is responsible for this kid then killing himself or whatever. But you are kind of like, but it's all a little out of hand. He's not doing much communication up or with the parents or whatever. Like,
the other thing,
he could be trying to intervene a little more.
The other thing I think Williams plays really well is you get the sense in him that he is questioning, am I responsible for this in any way, right? Yeah. That he plays that very quietly. It's another thing that's helped by him not being the POV character of the movie.
Right. So he's sort of in and out and you're not sure like how involved
But it doesn't feel like he fights the firing.
Yeah.
And it's obviously not his fault, but there is this part of him of just like, I'm just telling kids to fucking, say whatever they want and do whatever they want. I'm not really thinking about.
And you can't not feel
totally
somewhat not responsible. But yeah, in a way, guilt has no logic, really, So
right, exactly, exactly.
It's just crazy that the dad and then the administration blames his teaching instead of looking at the obvious, which is that the dad is forcing his son to do stuff that he really doesn't want to do.
Right,
but
the school
like,
can't
that's what
deal
you should
with
be
that.
doing.
Right.
No,
And
I
the
understand. But it's just such an annoying example of bureaucracy that really gets under my skin.
Oh,
It's like
absolutely.
so stupid.
But I also think the school exists to mirror that viewpoint of the dad, right? Like the function of this school in terms of what it's promising parents is like, we're gonna kick all the fucking
right. We're getting your kids
shit
ready for
we'll do it, don't
doctoring and lawyering and whatever.
Right. Like that's the promise of the premise. That's what's on the bottle here is like, we're gonna make them fucking upstanding citizens of society.
Yeah.
Right. And it's just like they're just printing doctor, lawyer.
Yeah.
Right. And you see them side-eyeing Williams from the beginning, even before there's any demonstrable damage of what he's done.
Yeah.
Even before the Gail Hansen character has the act out or whatever, and there's anything they can sort of like reprimand Williams for, they're already like, this could be dangerous.
Yeah.
We don't need these kids like fucking believing in themselves.
Yeah.
That's not what they're paying us for.
I had that with my teacher, Mr. Rothwell, in middle school. He got into trouble because he wanted us to read Antigone. And we were 6th graders, I think. And
it's a little early for Antigone.
Dude, it's Antigone, but it
my wife
created
teaches
this.
Antigone.
What age?
Humble brag.
Like I would say more like
9th grade.
9th grade.
Yeah. Which Yes. But for me, however, I'd regret it because I'm a loser. And I was like, yeah, there's a lot of suicide in that. Very dark things. I think incest is an Antigone as well. You know,
I mean, it's Antigone is the sequel to Oedipus.
Yeah, exactly. And so, but
that guy had a bit of an Oedipal complex. If you really think about it, that's my genius read. Yeah.
Griffin.
Sorry.
Absolutely.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I always forget, like, when I'm in the presence of it, I'm always like,
oh, of his bullshit?
It's just unstoppable.
Have I ever told you you're a bit boy?
You're not wrong.
This is like when Kevin Durant went on Bill Simmons years ago and started talking about the blog boys. You're a bit boy. You're gonna make a t-shirt.
I'm a fucking bit boy.
A bit boy over here.
I'm a nasty little bit boy.
I was telling a friend of mine who's a bit boy. I was like, oh, you're such a bit boy. He's like, what's a bit boy? I'm like, you're a boy doing bits.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? He's like,
laser accuracy.
Yeah. Bit boy.
Yeah.
I love it for you though. But this is your world. Bit boy away.
Look, hey, the bits paid for all of this.
You're sitting in a home of bits. Look upon
Little
the toys.
Look at this
Look
merch.
how many fucking toys
All
are.
those figures paid for with bits.
I also, sorry, because the monologue is like a long bit, but it's also like you are an actor. So it's like this it's in a bit, sort of middle space. Oh, excellent.
Jesus Christ. David did a bit at some point. I don't remember if it was on
him
mic
being grumpy
or if it was off mic. It's a really good question. It's kind of, that's become a bit of an Andy Kaufman thing where it's hard to tell where the bit ends. Is he still in control of it?
I don't know. It makes me, I'm so nervous. Oh, I forgot to call my friend.
So we're all just taking phone calls now?
Sorry, excuse me.
A bit?
Hello? No.
Okay.
Yeah.
David, at some point a couple of years ago, did an impression of his daughter being a teenager and being dismissive about the podcast. And angrily saying, oh, those bits you're making fun, they paid for all of it. They paid for your education.
Disgusting. It's disgusting.
The idea of getting
all my childcare costs.
Oh, I love
covered by his bits.
My fucking bits. Bits pay the bills.
Let's talk more about Dead Poets Society.
Yeah.
What is that? Just kidding.
So he fucking rips out the page.
Carpe Diem. And then they paddle his ass.
Yeah. I found that so upsetting.
Principal paddled Robin Williams.
Oh, that's a different kind of
my guess
story.
is they're leaving it downstairs. Don't worry. It's fine. I just ordered it because I know I'm going to have to go pick up my daughter after this.
Oh, should we talk about this, Griffin? I'm kidding.
Yeah. Carpe Diem does feel like it does not become a thing that anyone can say in any conversation and is understood without that movie, with this movie, right? Like, it does feel like even if people don't know that it's from Dead Poets Society anymore.
Well, Griffin, it's Latin.
It's right. It's, of course, from Horace's Odes.
I'm saying, how many Latin phrases can you drop into any conversation without the need to translate?
Carpe Diem has always been in my life, and this movie came out when I was 3. So, yes, maybe it's all
even just like a basic kind of like frat boy level, like Carpe motherfucking Diem. Like the fact that you can just...
Do you think it's funny that Robert Sean Leonard wants to be an actor? This school, of course...
The pages out of the book.
This school doesn't have drama.
No.
So it's like he doesn't get to do a school play. He has to do like local theater.
Yeah.
No, it's the girls' school.
It isn't the girls' school?
Yeah. So sometimes the schools will
that is something my
school
does.
St. Mary's or something.
Okay, all right.
Because I think that's when they meet all the girls at the dance, right? And from there,
Laura Walters
both basically cut out of the film. But Laura Flynn Boyle is one of the actresses in the play. Yeah.
Oh, I totally missed
interesting.
That.
He plays Puck. I played Puck.
Oh, you have Puck energy.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll take the.
Was he grumpy Puck?
Huh? Was he a grumpy Puck?
Yeah.
Me? What?
You just told all the characters to get along with it.
Whatever.
Oh, yeah. I was like, yeah, fucking girdle around the earth. 20 minutes.
Dunking out. What do you want me to say? What do you want from me?
Wait, how old were you when you played Puck?
That's a good question. I was like 14, maybe. Yeah, 14 or 15.
Are you a good actor?
No, very bad.
Me either.
I had a sparkly...
Nia DaCosta.
I had this like sparkly
David
sweater.
Sims to lead cast of next feature.
Yeah, you're gonna do Midsummer.
No, listen, do me monologue. No,
I'm a bad actor. I'm a bad actor. I liked drama because I like theater and I like Shakespeare and I like I dug the class and all that. Like I did it entirely in school. But I just as Griffin knows, I don't have a performance drive that engages enough or something. And I just would kind of I don't know. I think I wasn't like blowing my lines. I think I was just kind of flat. Like, it was just kind of whatever.
You have pretty severe stage anxiety, if not stage fright.
So.
But then I think when we were trying,
I just don't like it.
Well, this is the bigger thing.
I'm not like some people where like true people are like having a panic attack or throwing up before they get on a stage.
When we started doing live shows, and we don't do them often, and it felt like it was a little bit of an uphill battle to get you to do them. I felt like you had more acute anxiety leading up to the first couple. And then there was the moment where Ben and I were like, he's going to get out there and realize like the audience will be happy whatever he says and he's going to get the bug. And I remember you walking off stage one time and being like, yeah, I just feel nothing.
Yeah.
It doesn't like I feel a relief of the anxiety I had before, but like I guess I don't have the juice.
And the thing
that makes
is,
people
I don't
want
have
to
the
do
sickness
this.
because it's like it's a sickness to want to do like open mics, right? Because it's like you're punishing yourself.
Sure is sick.
Because you're going in front of these people who are hostile.
Absolutely.
And being like, hey, so here's what's up with
You're
my
broken
dick,
if you need that. I say
saw,
that as a
I
broken
saw a picture
person
of
who
you
needs
dressed up
that.
as Watto.
Oh yeah.
And it just really, because I think as listeners know, my first impression of Griffin is and David trivia monsters because they're so good and we never would win. And the second is as just like a comedian doing VH1 bits.
Right.
So to see you dressed as Watto, I was like, oh, this is his true form?
It is.
Yeah.
I just it's sort of like
but it speaks to that exact what is broken inside me that I have to put on a Watto costume.
Exactly. Right.
Multiple times.
I like whatever rush I should be, visceral
Years.
rush I should be getting from performing. I think I'm not getting it.
Yeah.
That would drive me to want to do it.
But
lots
that's
more. Ben, what are you going to say?
We just got to, though, say that you are really great.
You're very
It's
good.
very nice of you. I think I'm
Performing
totally
live.
fine
I
performing in
always-
front of fans of Blank Check, who are obviously a warm audience.
But no, but you do come alive doing it, and then you just walk off, and you're like, huh? So you guys like love doing that?
I'm not dismissive at all. To be clear, I don't want it to sound like I am.
We always get feedback where people are like, "David's so great.
Yeah,
he's so good live."
But that's that means your mental hygiene must be really good.
Yeah, he's the most normal man alive.
Yeah, like wait a second. There's plenty wrong up here.
It is.
Let me open my 5th spreadsheet. That's where it's all going.
It is another like I just think like masterfully realized and judged sequences in this movie is Robert Sean Leonard after the play backstage.
Yeah.
And just a series of like very kind of understated moments of just that feeling of, oh my God, I found my thing. That is played out entirely on this kid's face.
He's really good before too, when he's nervous and he knows his dad's out there and you can see him like, again, just on his face, like, should I just fucking not do this? You know,
well, and you also hope that it's like the dad's going to come up to him and be like, I was wrong, son. What you did out there
I
was
want to
magic.
put my foot in your critic's ass.
Yeah. Sister Act 2, you know?
Right.
It's like, think maybe...
you want it to be a School of Rock moment where they're all like, we were wrong, we get it, you have to do this.
Yeah.
And the fact that he has this sort of like private moment backstage, not even with the rest of the cast who are all complimenting him, but then he like goes into the blind spot behind the curtain and just kind of like takes a breath in. And it's just like, you're like, this guy feels complete for the first time in his entire life. And he knew it from the moment he auditioned that there was something there.
Yeah.
But having completed it so successfully,
and thinking like, also maybe my dad's. I'm showing my dad, and now he's seen me, and
he's in that one moment of maybe.
Yeah, because then he's like, oh, your dad's is back there, and he has a moment where he's like, maybe. Oh fuck!
He comes around. Yeah. He comes around the curtain, and he looks, and his dad is still just standing against the back wall, and the audience is basically emptied out, and it's like, oh my God, he's here.
Yeah,
he stayed through it. He's waiting to talk to me.
Yeah,
correct me if I'm wrong, because I've only seen the movie once in the last 25 years or whatever. It's like Kurtwood Smith's character. It's like they're not old money like some of these kids.
No.
Correct.
He's successful. He's like a doctor or something.
But he grew up kind of poor. It's implied.
But right. And so he has a little bit of the kind of like, you cannot be fucking around. Like,
he keeps saying, we don't have the kind of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, those kids have. Suicide scene is like, I mean, it's very like tastefully done by Weir or whatever, but the mom saying he's okay is like very upsetting. The whole thing is awful.
Yeah. And Kurtwood Smith's response at the same time. Right.
Mm-hmm. I don't like that he kills himself because I don't think he should have done that. No, it just feels like
you cast judgment.
I don't quite
and God
know if I just don't know if the movie earns it. Entirely.
I had a similar feeling.
Like,
it's
like, why did he do it? His dad wouldn't let him act. I'm just like, I don't think we got there, guys.
Yeah,
and it more feels like the movie just had to have an ending that was sad.
And then
what were
you
Hawks
say?
crying
I
in
got
the snow.
I was just gonna. I just wanted more because I think part of, and I understand where telling Wilson not to do like the whole, not to lead up to the suicide, not to have that.
Don't play that over your head. I
think I needed, and also to be fair, like, you know, I mean, I went to NYU. Did you go to NYU too?
I didn't. I dropped out of Cal Arts.
Okay, beautiful.
Yeah.
Went to NYU, and like when I was there, someone killed themselves in Bopes in the library because you could you could jump over into the lobby.
Kind of infamous. Yeah.
And several people had done that, and
yes,
you know, and you know, so
of course people.
No, but the way people have talked about them was like, oh, they seemed like I'd never expected. But I think in the context of a film, obviously, the point is emotional legibility, unless you're making Hedda Gabler. And it's like,
if you're making, you know, Ibsen, someone's gonna fucking do something.
Everyone needs to die. But you know, I just felt like it didn't. The math wasn't completely mathing. For me, and
I think. I in rewatching it thought I was going to reject it feeling like too much of a push narratively. It went down more smoothly. I bought it more than I was expecting to.
Yeah.
It's mostly because it's so well done. It's mostly because he makes the sequence kind of dreamlike.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think by giving it that space and making it largely wordless and making it feel kind of like weirdly magical, right?
Yeah.
There is this sense of, and I think it's what you're talking about with like how many college suicides there are, and even like at places like this, at boarding schools like this.
Yeah.
I think these places that are this like high pressure concentration of energy about your future, we are preparing you for your future.
Yeah.
We are trying to break you down to be able to accomplish great things.
Yeah.
It's a very like combustible kind of potion they're brewing, of like you're making people think so much about the pressure of this moment as a fulcrum point, in a series of fulcrum points, to be able to unlock the future you want or not.
Yeah.
And is it the future you want, or is it the future you were told you need to pursue, or whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
And I think you do get young people under tremendous amount of pressure who just like break on a bad night.
Yeah.
Not it being the end result of years of suicidal ideation, but this feeling of, you know, I think there is a narrative convenience to it.
Just
by a little bit, but I think what it sells fairly well, that I just buy enough, is that like the high and the low so close together.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like messing
finding
with his
this moment,
teenage calibration.
Exactly.
And his dad's like, you're going to go to here. And
that it's like a manic cycle of just like, I have just found myself for one solitary moment. I'm immediately told that door is closed. It is impossible.
Yeah.
And in that moment, it's, you know, what you hear about a lot with teen suicide is just like, you wish you could tell them that like you will get past this, right? That this is like a bad night, that this is not the rest of your life.
Keating says, well, you're turning 18, you can do whatever you want.
Totally.
And I think that was the one line for me where I was like, because again, like not, like almost like forgetting what was coming. I'm like, he'll do that.
But he's fighting so hard. You don't know my dad. You don't understand. You understand. And Keating's like, no, truly, trust me, just say it.
Yeah.
He'll see it. And when he's been told that, he wants to believe that.
Yeah.
He feels such a sense of euphoria from the performance, and then his dad comes down so fucking hard.
So that's the thing that makes sense. Totally.
And in a way that's not even vindictive as much as just like this is fucking reality. We can't afford this. We don't have generational wealth. You need to keep this up. There are no other choices.
The house is too big for him to be going on like that, please.
But I agree.
That's the thing that also is a little bit confusing for the dad's math, where I'm like, because my dad's similar. We haven't spoken in many years, but it's like the logic is less about like, it's all about his trauma.
Exactly.
And his inability to feel.
That's the whole thing.
And I think the moment where he talks to his mom and his mom's like, sorry, you're just like, oh, like he just really feels alone.
Well, Kurtwood Smith's like, I had it rough. And this is what I had to do to become successful.
Yeah.
And the proper way for me to parent you is to do that as well, rather than being like, I went through that to be able to give you a better, more supportive life.
Yeah.
Right? Where you do have options and autonomy. I also think it's such a good choice that like Kurtwood Smith has his like sort of like complete immediate breakdown at like my son.
Oh,
And then his wife comes in and is in absolute denial at it. and he starts yelling at her.
Yeah.
Right? He lashes out at her in anger. He shows genuine vulnerability.
But it's a very, very honest moment. I think.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There's
It's
genuine
so well
vulnerability and guilt when he sees his son's body. And then when his wife comes in and starts reacting emotionally, he's stop it.
Yeah.
Like it's that guy.
It's control. He's like,
he does not have the emotional freedom to be able to really help any of the people in his life, even at his absolute lowest moment. Yeah.
I love the way, because you always think with like suicide scenes, like, okay, then he finds a gun, then gonna be boom, you hear the gunshot, and the fact that there's no gunshot,
instead it's just the dad waking up being
my
God.
God.
Another excellent.
Yeah,
I mean, and then he walks around.
That's
and he sees
what Weir knows just to pull back.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like, and that's why this movie works.
Yeah,
I agree.
Are you coming around, Dave?
I look. I gave it 3 stars on Letterboxd. That's how, and that was the rating I had it.
Yeah.
Like, where I was just like, this is a movie that totally works for me.
I just think it kind of undeniably works.
Okay, can we have a Letterboxd moment?
Please.
Okay, so I don't want to say this.
We can always cut it out.
Okay, I have a secret Letterboxd.
Hell yeah.
I just started it because Max Minghella was like, "You need to do it."
It's at
absolutely
Paul
not.
Schrader.
No, I'm not telling anyone. No. I'm not letting any of my friends know because then people might find clues, and it's stressful.
Yeah.
But I have an experience where I rated a film 2 stars, but then I also put like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
have you done this?
I think
Tell
that
me
is.
more.
I think that is a very good way to think about because people get very tied up on Letterboxd stuff.
Yeah.
Like, well, what should my rating scale be?
Yeah.
Or do I just not do ratings and I just do hearts? And I'm like, 2 stars and a like. That's a kind of movie that I
a lot
have
of us,
in my wheelhouse.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Deep Blue Sea is probably a 2-star and a like
Deep Blue
movie.
Sea is a perfect example.
Our friend Ben
I
David
cannot
Grabinski.
defend a second of that movie.
Our friend
1,000%.
Ben David Grabinski.
He goes 5 stars or nothing.
Oh.
Well, I basically do that. I now only
But
give
Ben
a star
David does
rating
that too.
if it's 5, or if I really think a thing's stinky poo poo and I want to make a statement with a 1.
You'll go 1.
And that's usually I'm like, this movie is like cynical, like end of culture bullshit.
Yeah.
But I used to do more star ratings. Now I'm just like, I give it 5 stars if I'm like, I'm officially ready to say I think this is a perfect masterpiece. Officially, what the fuck am I talking about? But otherwise, it's a binary, like heart or no heart. Right?
Sure.
And I'm just like, and it used to be like heart means I love it. Now I'm like, heart means I like it.
Yeah.
If
Heart
I'm like
means
positive,
yeah.
Yeah, I think
Right.
we have to step. I think especially with like review aggregators, which are so upsetting. I just feel like ratings mean less and less. Like reviews are so much more interesting than like.
Look, I don't give grades as a critic because The Atlantic doesn't do that.
Yeah.
If I worked somewhere else, that did that, I guess. But the people don't really do that much anymore.
Yeah, no, because it's a bit weird to be like to.
But I love my Letterboxd star ratings, and I love how mad they make people. Not famous people or important people, but weird nerds who are like, well, he gave 3 stars to this, and then, I also see that he
reviewed it again and went down half a star.
Listen,
and I'm
it can't
just
be
like-
as mad as David Ehrlich's reviews makes people because
he's
that
the king of
is the fun. Like he cracks me up.
Do you know what's so funny is that people get so mad and they're like, this guy fucking sucks. His opinions suck. And then when he swings in and is like, one battle after another 5 stars, people are like, we're cooking. We're so back. Ehrlich likes it. And
like Hamnet. Yeah.
When he likes the movie you're excited about, suddenly
But if he
his
doesn't like
opinion means a lot.
Exactly.
Well, the weird thing that they'll do with him is they're like, well, he didn't like it. That means I'll like it.
Yeah,
'cause
immediate
he didn't like another movie I
masterpiece
liked.
incoming.
Right.
Yeah. I have a reviewer that's like that for me where I'm like, I love the reviews, but
Name.
Can you bleep it?
Yeah, we'll
of
leave
course.
Ben?
Yep.
Oh,
Of
yeah.
course.
Yeah,
He's the best example.
I love his reviews,
Yes,
but
he's a
like
great writer.
he rated bleep this movie as well really highly, and I was like, that's one of the worst films I've seen. And
I would say that. Well, I can't talk about this.
Yeah, no,
We'll
bleep
get way too
the
much.
whole thing.
No,
Yeah.
but here's like a very specific example to you, right?
Yeah.
I'd never seen the Annabelle movies.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, I should fucking watch the Annabelle movies.
Yeah.
The first Annabelle
I
movie
saw you logging it. The
is
first one
such
is
absolute dog shit.
Yeah,
It is
horrible.
astonishing how bad it is, right? Then the second one is like one of the best, like
That's one set in the
salvation-
past, right?
It's
Yes.
very good.
Yes,
The one with
yeah.
Anthony LaPaglia.
Right.
Yes.
And I was just sort of like, oh, this one's like resetting the table and just ignoring the first one. And then the last 20 minutes, it finds a way to tie back into everything that was bad in the first one, but make it good retroactively.
It's a very solid movie.
And I was like, holy shit, heart.
Isn't it the
heart.
best kind of surprise when you? It's like when I watched The Conjuring for the first
It's
time.
David
I was
Sandberg,
like,
who
who rules?
Yeah, good director.
So I
Except-
watched
yeah.
I watched that Annabelle
Creation.
Yeah.
Then I go see your movie Hedda, right? And then I'm like, yeah, loved it. Heart. And then I go home and I'm like,
Time for Annabelle to come home.
And I watch Annabelle Come Home and I'm like, yeah, pretty good. Heart. And then I'm like looking at it and I'm like, does this look weirdly?
Is
like,
Annabelle? I don't think I've seen her come home.
Me either.
I think it's quite good.
Oh, I'm gonna watch that.
But I'm like, here are like 2 junky horror sequels that I'm giving hearts and a sandwich around a movie that our friend made.
Right.
Am I like being rude to Hedda or devaluing that heart or whatever?
Listen, I'll share space with
my
Annabelle.
answer is I watched 3 Annabelle movies. I now have a sliding scale of Annabelle movies, and I'm like, 2 of these are good at the assignment of make an Annabelle movie.
Completely
And because the
agree.
first one is so bad, I'm like giving the other 2 positive reviews.
Also, Annabelle and Hedda are both 2 women who are in a world that has boxed them in. Annabelle is literally in a doll.
Sitting in chairs
And-
causing chaos.
Exact, sitting in chairs in beautiful dresses, causing chaos.
Causing
so
chaos.
I get
Funny
it.
that the real Annabelle is just a fucking ragged.
Do you know this?
I
The
know.
real Annabelle?
I know.
Yeah, for
Straight
sure.
up. Yeah.
And then did you see the guy who died?
Yeah.
And then they
Yeah.
were like, we found out the cause of death. Cardiac event. And I'm like, fucking Annabelle event is what that was.
Cotton in his
Shouldn't have been,
mouth.
exactly. I should have been touching that doll.
They're fucking stitched up.
Dude, that whole thing is so. And Matt Rife bought the
Yeah,
doll.
Matt Rife
Yeah,
bought the
okay.
fucking Warren house. Matt Rife owns Annabelle
Well,
now.
I hope
So
Annabelle,
funny.
you know.
He's too powerful if he can afford that.
tours of
Yeah.
the fucking Annabelle house. Anyway, I think both of the Annabelle sequels are good.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Annabelle Come Home, and I haven't seen The Curse of La Llorona.
I'm halfway through that
Oh,
one.
I watched that on a
Yeah.
plane once.
Which I always mess up the pronunciation.
Here's what Annabelle Comes Home does that is smart.
Here's what Annabelle Comes Home is so smart. He says, as we get ready to wrap up on Dead Poets Society.
Patrick Wilson and
Oh,
Vera
shit.
Farmiga
Mhm.
are back in it as the Warrens,
Yeah,
but they're only at the beginning and the end.
Yeah.
And the movie is basically their young daughter, who's McKenna Grace. It's her birthday, and they're like, "Oh, but we got called in to do some demonic thing. We're sorry we're missing your birthday. We have a babysitter who's going to watch you." And teen girl watching McKenna Grace sad,
Oh,
who's
I have
starting
seen
to
this.
get the feelings and
Yes.
is like
Mhm.
struggling with being seen as like the creepy girl,
Yeah.
right?
Mhm.
Invites her friend over to help babysit with her.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And her friend is like, "Oh, the house with all the creepy shit," and she starts fucking with stuff.
Right.
And then the
I
movie
hate
is
kids like this.
basically like a haunted house movie set in the Warren house when they're not there.
And then we get Vera sometimes being like, something's happening.
Very beginning,
Or,
very
"Oh,
end.
that's it.
The
Oh,
superstructure of the movie is
Yeah.
basically, what if 2 teenagers
Yeah,
are stuck
yeah.
in the
That's a
Warren
good-
house
that's-
without
right.
them there?
That's a
And
great
they're like,
conceit.
what's this bowling ball? And it's like, no, that bowling ball killed 8 people in
Right.
Delaware.
Because the problem with Annabelle is Annabelle doesn't come to life. She doesn't move. She sits in a chair and then bad shit happens.
It's
Yeah.
crazy they made 3 Annabelle movies
so
without.
they clearly knew
Right.
there
Yeah.
was not a third movie
Right.
worth of Annabelle shit. So they were
Mm.
like, put her back in the house and then everything in the house can go wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's smart.
I guess I
Love
haven't
that.
seen The Nun 2.
The Nuns are my next up. I'd never watched any of the spin-offs.
Yeah.
I was a
They're
mini
not
Nun guy.
largely.
The Conjuring,
okay.
nothing has met The Conjuring
I agree.
where it is. The Conjuring to me is like
It's
one of
amazing.
the best horror films that have come out in the past 5 years. It's so
incredible.
good.
I wish Juan had come back and done 3.
He's so good.
He's so good.
You mean done 3
Have you seen
or done
Malignant?
4?
Well, both. But it felt
Right.
like they didn't make 3 for so long and started making all the spin-offs because they were
Fucking
like,
busy.
he's
Yeah,
really
he's doing a
busy
lot of
and he
things.
wants to come back eventually. And then it was like, he's never coming back.
Is it because he was doing
He did Aquaman, and he did.
Malignant?
I mean,
Have
and,
you
like,
seen
I
Malignant?
love that he did Malignant.
Malignant fucking.
Or Malignant Rocks.
I had so many emotions watching that film. Whew,
I love that movie.
that picture.
Yeah. It's a
So
picture.
he said Carpe Diem.
He ripped the pages out.
He ripped the pages
Yeah,
out.
what are some other moments that we like? I like when
I'm done.
they kick the ball and they have to quote lines of poetry.
Yeah,
I
that's
think that's really fun.
I like the
Carry
the
him off
yop
the
scene
field with
where
the
they're
poster.
the camera's spinning around them, and I was
Yeah.
like, this is such a great way to just like the energy of it's so good.
Mhm.
I love when Ethan Hawke has to say a one sentence and that's his entire plot. Someone said to me before I started watching it, they were like, yeah, it's interesting because like basically Ethan Hawke's the lead of the film, and
Sure.
I watched it and I was like, he's not less than Robin.
Yeah, he's
He's-
important.
He's off lines.
He's kind of the passive POV
Right.
character
I mean,
Sure,
it's
in
yeah.
a
sort of
weird
crucial
way.
that at
Yeah.
the end he's the one saying to him, like, they made us sign that, like, you know,
He's like the silent
Okay,
observer
Captain,
who you're
right.
just kind of pinning throughout the whole movie,
Yeah.
and then he doesn't really come alive until the end.
Yeah.
what kind of like reference do you think Keating's getting out the door for his next?
Mixed.
Yeah. Right.
He's going back to England where they don't have internet, so no one
to
will
a
know.
paddling.
I know
No
we made
one will
jokes, but can we talk about the Josh Charles thing a little bit? Because as you said,
Sure.
each of the kids has like a
don't
thing
like
they
it.
need to self-actualize.
Right.
Yeah.
It like really does not play well today. I'm not even saying
Yeah.
this with like modern like politics. You're just
No.
like, it is kind of just like such a creepy movie construction.
It's
it is
also-
what our friend Chris Gethard
Yeah.
calls an ultimate "but I like her" plot, which is a
Alexandra
guy,
Powers
yeah.
is the actress
yes,
playing
who's very pretty
Chris
and
who's
has
pursuing-
become a Scientologist.
Oh, is that right?
Her
Upsetting.
Wikipedia is just like, and then in 2010 she figured it out by becoming a Scientologist.
I
Like,
did see this. Yes,
it has a section of like, and then everything
Yeah.
got figured out.
Listen, life's hard, man. You gotta sometimes you gotta just
you gotta carpe the diem.
need something to help you shoulder the weight of the
Yeah.
meaningless universe we
But
have.
Gethard's point was basically, for decades, many
Yes.
movies
It
could get
is
away with
especially, yes.
if a nice boy cares really deeply, his
Yeah.
crush is very genuine.
Right, he's not
Yeah.
threatening. Like, Josh Charles.
But I like her. You just
Yeah.
stay with it until she finally gives in.
Yeah, it's
And is like rewarded for it.
so upsetting.
And then the story
I
just
think-
kind of drops.
Look, I think he's good in this, and
It's
he's
fine.
sweet and he's charming, and you're like, the behavior is so bizarre. He's selling it in a way where you're like you're almost falling for it.
Mm.
But she like answers a door, and he's like, that is the love of my life. And people
Yeah.
are like, okay, can
Sure.
go off.
Yeah.
And then he's just like, truly, I'm not giving up on this. And they're like,
It is
she's
so
got
bizarre.
a boyfriend. She's setting boundaries.
She said no thank you. She said
Right.
don't come to my school.
And she's like, yeah, she said no thank you for now.
Exactly.
You know what his character in SWAT was called?
What?
TJ McCabe.
Cool.
That's great.
Think about that
High
sometimes.
school parties they have that specific thing where people make out
Mhm.
just publicly in front of everyone.
Sure.
And that only kind of, I feel like, lasts for a little
By
moment.
college, it's like get a room. Like,
Yeah,
you
exactly.
can.
It is just so funny to me that the construction of these types of plot lines is so often, sweet, sensitive, nice boy, self-insert for screenwriter, has
Mhm.
crush on beautiful, unattainable girl who is dating like meathead,
Yeah.
sort of like emotionally unbalanced jock,
Now,
right?
is this something that is common in life in the time period? I mean, it's just like that's so many stories.
I think it is the way that a certain type of person who is very prone to becoming a screenwriter likes to reframe their experiences.
of not being liked.
Yes.
She's trapped by that hot
or
guy.
make the kind of revisionist history of like, and this is how I wish it had turned out.
Yeah.
But it is always kind of hinging on this moment of the guy lashes out and beats the shit out of the nice boy. And
Yeah.
that's the moment that makes her wake up from his spell.
Mm-hmm,
Right? And
Yeah.
then has to sort of like Florence Nightingale tend to him and be like,
Yeah.
he's so awful. I can't believe I didn't see it.
Because
I
no one
love
in
you."
movies can ever put a bandit on by themselves.
Right. It is so crazy that the version of that happens in this movie is a moment where Josh Charles is empirically in the wrong.
Yeah.
That the thing that makes the guy punch him in the face is that
actually
she's, like,
valid. Yeah.
she's passed out on a couch and he's stroking her
So
face and kissing her
scary.
forehead. Where I'm like, even if there was no background, if this
Yeah.
is their first time seeing this guy, it'd be like, who the fuck
pull
are
him
you?
up. Yeah.
Yeah, throw
Because
him
she's
under
also
the
like,
snow.
yuck.
Yes. She wakes up and is freaked out
Yeah.
and he's just like, but
But I like you.
what if you come see a play with me?
Yeah, exactly. And she's like, I guess I'm gonna see the play.
Yeah.
And you're like, what? It's very, but no one has really significant. Nwanda again,
Yeah.
my baby girl.
Mhm.
Love Nwanda.
Mhm.
He's the one who I'm most impressed by, and then he disappears because he gets.
It's interesting because he's right. He's the defiant one who's like,
Yeah.
we got to do all this and we got to have Dead Poet Society and all that.
That Robin moment is good too when he comes back in. He's like expecting to get like applause.
Oh yeah, yeah,
And he's just like, no, dump.
yeah,
Dump.
Right.
Don't get kicked out. Like then
Yeah.
all of this was for nothing.
exactly. Like,
And
use your
he's-
privilege.
Nwanda's the one who gets, his name's Charlie. I'm sorry. Is the one who
Charlie.
gets paddled. And I do think the paddling scene is good because it's so ineffectual and yet also horrible. Like, it's
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
on the one hand, this kid's getting beaten by his teacher,
Yeah.
institutional. On the other hand, it's just so weird. It's just
Yeah.
like this grown kid, like across the knees of an old man who's
Yeah.
got this like, it's just
Also, watching him to see how painful it is,
Yeah.
it's just like it's dark.
But I also think it's good character construction for Keating that he's just like, no, I'm not telling you to just like fuck everything up.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I still want you to learn shit.
Yeah,
If you get kicked out of this school, no one's benefiting and I'll get fired, you know?
Yeah.
And it's the part of him that you could see so quickly blaming himself, at least partially, for the suicide.
yeah,
Because it's like, I'm trying to push them just up to the line
mm-hmm.
without breaking them.
yeah.
Look, the end is...
oh, Captain, my captain.
It pays out like a slot machine.
I teared up.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe it.
It is just incredibly effective.
Thank
Shout
you,
out
boys.
Walt, man.
So good.
Walt Whitman, the
Mr.
best.
Whitman.
Of course,
Gay
Captain My
icon.
Captain is actually about Abraham
Abraham
Lincoln,
Lincoln.
as Keating says
Yeah.
in the movie.
I have that in the Marvel movie that I made. Oh, Captain, My Captain.
I forgot.
This
Wait.
moment. Well, unless they cut it. But
Did you not go to?
no, I
Does
just
Ms.
I
Marvel
it's just been
say
so
that to Captain Marvel?
yeah. That she's like zooming around like killing all these Kree in these ships, and then she goes, "Oh, Captain, My Captain," and then we whip pan over to Monica, and she's like, "Are you good, girl? Like you're
That's
crazy."
fine.
Yeah, it was funny, but we had a whole anyway.
You had a scene where all the
Kree got up on a chair.
I was the joke I was going to make.
Captain,
The
My
Kree get on
I
their
stole
desk.
the bit from the
They
bit
get
boy.
on their desk. Yeah, hey, have fun with that bit.
Thank you so much.
It's yours. That's your take home gift.
People
Thank you.
forget
Mm-hmm.
this film won Best Picture at the BAFTAs,
Yeah, it also won Best Foreign Film
at the Césars,
and the Italian.
Oh, wow.
I forget what it's
Davide
called.
Donatello.
Yes,
Ooh.
like this was kind of the
Wow.
most respected American film in Europe.
Do you
was
think it's
the
because
most-
of the suicide?
partially?
Yeah, come on.
I think it's also because it's like
it's-
a movie about like the power of
Poetry?
it's a very romantic film
Yeah.
about
Well,
culture and
what-
Yeah.
right.
Did
art
it lose Best Picture too, Griffin?
What year is this?
1989.
So this is the year after Rain Man.
Mhm.
It loses Best Picture to Dances with Wolves.
Nope, that's the year after.
Fuck.
Oh, that was my guess.
What's the thing in between?
It's not the most memorable Best Picture winner.
It's it is. You've watched them all.
Oh, you
I have not.
yes.
To
Right.
date, it is the worst Best Picture winner I have seen.
Oh, it's not even close to the worst I've seen. But it's not a very good
Tried
movie.
Miss Daisy.
Oh, damn.
Yes,
a film I
direct-
was confounded by watching it for the first time last year.
Really?
I just think that
Okay,
movie's
I have it.
nothing.
It's not much. It's not nothing. It's fine.
I think it's nothing.
Oh.
I was expected to be more like outraged by it while also being like,
I have it
oh, but
seventh
it's like a
from
manipulative.
bottom.
It kind of
Sure,
works.
sure, yeah.
And I was just like, this movie's like just it just feels so slight to me.
It's pretty slight.
I mean, this is
it's
my
a stage play.
my crazy take. Green Book is better than Driving Miss Daisy.
I have Green Book one above Driving Miss Daisy on the
That
Best
is
Picture list.
so crazy.
Yeah.
No, Driving Miss Daisy is not very good. It's the year that Born on the 4th of July is sort of the front runner and wins Best Director.
Yeah.
And then Driving Miss Daisy, I guess, is the little movie that could for whatever reason.
But is also obviously forever the year that is defined by not nominating Do the Right Thing.
Do the Right Thing is
Yeah.
obviously resigned to supporting actor and screenplay, but it's like three of the other nominees are My Left Foot, inspirational true story drama, Dead Poet Society, inspirational quasi true story drama, and then Field of Dreams, made up inspirational.
Wait, Field of Dreams?
Yes.
Is an Oscar
Nia,
nominated.
don't you come
Alum?
in my house and come at Field of Dreams
No, no, no,
after
no.
defending Dead Poet Society,
listen,
Best
which
Picture
is
nominated.
treacle.
You know,
Knock my head
you know what
over.
it is? I
Yeah.
think
I love
I
Field
saw
of
that
Dreams.
movie at a time where a lot of those baseball men in cornfield movies were out,
Yes.
or at least the collection of them. Exactly.
Sure. Yeah.
And so they all sort of are the same in my head because I've not seen them since the 90s.
Field of Dreams is
Is it amazing?
incredible.
It's
Is it?
it's
So
pretty.
fucking good.
It's one of those movies that you're just like, this should not.
Is it
work.
like Bull Durham? I'm kidding.
No,
I love
Bull
Durham is-
I
the
love
flip
Bull
side,
Durham.
which is like
Yeah.
baseball is fucking horny and we're all just here to
Bull
fuck.
Durham's just like straight up the best movie.
Field of
That's
Dreams
so
is
great.
just
Yeah.
like, I miss my dad. I think
Yeah.
I need to build a cornfield to summon
Oh,
the ghosts of the Chicago
Right.
Black Sox.
That's what I thought.
Field
of
Okay,
Dreams
yeah,
the best.
Field
Yeah,
of Dreams
okay.
is like Ratatouille,
I'll
where
watch
if
it
you
again.
like lay out the plot, you're like, are you insane? What do you
So it's-
mean
but it's
that's
as
your
good as
idea?
Field of
Ratatouille
Dreams,
is what I'm
though,
hearing.
it's about like the sort of the boomer dream, like coming, where the boomers are like, what? I'm
Yeah.
a grown up now. What the fuck?
Yeah.
We're
and
forgetting another inspiring film, of course, Major League 1 and 2.
very
Oh,
inspiring.
yes.
Let's go win
Okay.
this fucking thing.
I love the 1 and 2 of it all.
Yeah.
Yes.
You learn.
Yeah.
Let's have some fun. Play baseball.
Yeah. Those are great movies.
Williams loses to Daniel Day-Lewis.
Williams loses to Daniel Day-Lewis.
Supporting.
Well, there's no nominees for supporting.
I know, but I'm saying I love rewatching the fucking Siskel and Ebert Oscar specials.
sure,
and
sure,
it's a
sure.
big thing that whole season where they're just like, and by the way, it is insane category fraud that Robin Williams is in.
Best
Indeed.
side.
They were just
I don't-
banging that drum.
Wait,
for
I don't
who
think
won?
it's
Who won Best Supporting that year?
That's why I'm
Denzel
asking.
Washington won Best Supporting Actor for
For Glory.
Glory.
Okay, so he
And-
wasn't going to beat Denzel.
Actually,
No.
No.
Wait, who was it? Oh, Robin? No.
I
you
want to
think
do the
people
mental
would've-
exercise.
You've also got Martin Landau in Crimes and Misdemeanors, which is an
Oh,
incredible
so it wouldn't have mattered.
performance.
They went
And
for the
Danny
two-
Aiello in Do the Right Thing,
I
which is
just wanted to do the mental exercise.
No.
That
To
was
me,
all.
it is a lead performance in that same way as Hannibal Lecter,
It's
where it's
energetically.
like, it is spiritually in the entire movie. He is the focus of the movie in this weird way. It's like, it's not a supporting performance. It's nonsense.
I think it's a
Ebert-
supporting performance. I think Lecter. I agree with you. On Lecter being
But
the lead.
who would be the lead of
There's
the movie?
exactly-
Robert Sean Leonard, in my opinion.
No.
David made the stinky poo poo face.
No. And Brenda Fricker won Best Supporting Actress for My
Mhm.
Left Foot, which is a lovely performance, and she's a wonderful actor.
And Tandy wins
but
actress.
It's an odd, and Jessica Tandy, of course, wins Best
Yeah.
Actress. The Dead Poet Society filled with ladies in lead roles. No, I mean there was, but Dead Poet Society does win Best Writing Screenplay written directly for the screen over. Listen to this.
Okay, so
Listen to who
Oh,
it
no.
It beats
This is why
Do
you're
the Right
mad.
Thing.
It
Crimes
beats.
and
Listen to me.
Misdemeanors.
Listen to me. Crimes and Misdemeanors. Woody Allen.
Yeah.
Say what you will. It's one of his best films.
Perhaps his best.
Do the Right Thing by Spike Lee.
Mhm.
Sex, Lies, and Videotape by Steven
Wow.
Soderbergh. And When Harry Met Sally by Nora
What the
Ephron.
actual
It is
fuck?
by far the worst
I
nomination.
Wait,
agree.
you know what?
Not
I hate the
even
movie now too.
close.
It's a piece of shit.
I get your ire at the screenplay.
It is fucking bananas.
Yeah.
Any of those wins would be great.
Yeah.
Any of those wins. I mean, Woody Allen would be kind of like, he has enough Oscars.
Yeah,
Fuck that.
that's
But I mean,
crazy.
Spike Lee, Steven Soderbergh, Nora, it's crazy.
That is crazy.
And
Also, all
obviously,
first time.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
I think at the time it's sort of like, oh, well, they're all up and coming. But guess who else was up and coming? The fucking 8 heads in a duffel bag
I know.
guy. And
It's
he
like-
up and came to nothing.
It ends up being like right.
Okay, easy.
All right.
Easy.
8 heads in a duffel bag.
The anointment is almost like a death sentence for Shulman, whereas everyone
Yeah.
else.
I mean, obviously he had a totally solid Hollywood career, but
Yeah.
it's just nuts to look at that list. And
Yeah.
you're just like, what?
That
Like,
is
Wow,
crazy.
wow, wow.
And it is 89 Oscars is the most like gas leak Oscars because they're like, no, I think I'm feeling driving this thing. Like they're watching cinema change around them and they're like, no. Let me hold this
Right.
close.
Who
This is like,
directed Driving Miss Daisy?
of
Bruce
course,
Beresford?
Bruce Beresford directed
And it was infamously, at the time, one of the only examples of a movie winning Best Picture without a Best Director nomination.
Yeah.
Bruce Beresford, to
Which
be
Wow.
clear,
speaks to the, like, even the attitude of that movie at the time.
Yeah.
he
It's sort
was-
of like.
He was a good director. Breaker Morant's a great movie. Tender Mercies is an
Yeah.
amazing movie. Crimes of the Heart is
I like
all
his
right.
pre-Driving Miss Daisy
Exactly. And then he kind of became more of like a Hollywood hack in the 90s.
films. Mr. Church is like one of the worst things I've ever seen.
Double Jeopardy he directed. Not bad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is that one of the Ashley Judds?
Double Jeopardy's
Oh,
fun.
love the Ashley Judds of the 90s.
If you were Ashley Judd in the 90s,
Your husband was always
Uh-oh.
trying to kill you. Yeah, girl, good luck.
you're the star of the movie, but you better
Yeah,
have your head
you're fucked,
on
babe.
a swivel. Nah, this film came out June 9th, 1989. In
Middle of the summer.
somewhat limited release, 600 screens. So it's opening at number 3, $7.5 million, which is an amazing
many
per
screens
screen
is it?
average. 680 screens.
And
Yeah.
it ends up at like 101 domestic.
It made domestically, come on the numbers, 95
Okay.
and worldwide 239. It
Okay.
was,
Jesus.
I think worldwide, it was the 5th biggest movie of the year.
Yeah.
Mm.
Crazy.
Yeah.
And it is crazy that it came out in summer because this is like the most fall, wintry movie. But,
Yeah.
it,
that's
it ran and ran.
the true dominancy of 90s Robin Williams is you have these like huge hits that are like, of course, that's what Robin Williams does,
Yeah.
like Aladdin and like Doubtfire and
Oh.
Birdcage.
Is Jack Black the heir to Robin Williams right now?
It's a fair. It's
In the sense of
interesting.
like, I mean, I watched a Minecraft movie on the plane.
Yeah.
And I feel like I read on the thing that you hate that movie so much with a deep passion, or did you like it?
What?
Yeah,
I did not like
I
it.
kind of enjoyed that
I
movie.
found it very
It was great
loud.
for the plane.
Yeah.
Yeah. The plane was louder, so
I also
I think
yeah.
Jack Black is one of those guys where it's like even the sort of silliest nothing, he's
he really
gives
We
a
have been
shit,
talking
and I
about
love
this.
that.
yeah.
Minecraft does feel like the moment where you're like, it is undeniable. He is the greatest family comedy star of all time.
Yeah.
He certainly is the most dominant
Very
of all time.
bankable.
Where you're
family comedy
basically
star,
like
right.
from the School of Rock and
But
Roll
Robin
movie.
Williams is
Yeah.
a good comp in terms of that kind of like family live action
Absolutely.
star who made tons
Right.
of money.
I think
Yeah.
the
But I guess he
difference-
doesn't have the drama. of
not
action.
as much.
He-
He's
he-
done some.
Right. I think what happened with Jack Black is obviously like cool, edgy comedy guy,
Mm.
right? Then like makes surprising like crossover success into family comedy star.
Yeah.
Surprising in a way that retroactively makes perfect sense,
Yeah.
right? And then he's like does some things like Margot at the Wedding where he's like trying to stretch himself.
The
more.
Holiday.
Bad.
No. But it's like, right, those things don't go over well at the time. His adult comedies start bombing, and he's like, I guess the only zone I play in is like family comedy star. So he like doubles down on that while doing his YouTube videos and Tenacious D. And
he does YouTube video?
Jables.
Oh man, yeah. I don't do the YouTube.
But yes, he like just really was like, as a movie actor, my career is family comedies and I'm gonna embrace this, and he never fucking phones it in.
Yeah.
And if you zoom out, you're just like, the guy's basically untouched for like a 25-year run.
Yeah.
And he means like as much to my little like 6-year-old cousin as he did to like my sister when she was 6.
Yeah.
And to me and whatever. Yeah. Whereas Robin Williams, it's like, by the time you get to the 2000s, the family movies don't work anymore.
Yeah.
The 90s were his sweet spot for that.
Yeah.
I would like to see Jack Black be able to like find his Dead Poet Society, Good Will Hunting.
School of Rock is his Dead Poet Society, but like maybe an even more dramatic version of it.
But the way we were talking about with Robin Williams, that he found these movies that weren't like playing against his comedy, but they recontextualized it and like pulled. He needs like a Peter Weir or someone to pull the thing out of him.
I have to tell you that
maybe it's you.
Disney was freaked out about the title, and they almost called the movie The Unforgettable Mr. Keating.
Well, fuck, that's so hard.
Helps so much.
And they also registered Keating's Way, which is even that's like nobody's gonna want to see
that's
that.
Horrifying.
Like, Cutter's Way was pretty recent.
Yeah,
right?
that's true. But Weir was like, this is an accessible movie. Like they were freaking out about nothing, and it starts to test. And they got like insane scores, and they essentially were like, "Oh shit," you know. So they moved it right to the middle of summer.
It is one of those movies where the ending is so fucking strong that people are going to be coming out of the theater pumping their fucking fists. And this is an era where like word of mouth could really make a movie a hit over a sustained period of time.
Oh, I thought Ben was going to punch you again.
He's getting me a Sour Patch Kid.
And you pointing out the screenplay Oscar win, it's just like, it does feel like this movie was so huge they had to give it something.
I think a little bit, but I also, I think all the other movies we listed were challenging, and this is not as challenging a movie. Now, number one at the box office, though, June 9th, 1989. Now, wait.
What's going on?
Apparently, it opened on 8 screens the week before, which is not even listed on the numbers. Do you want to do that one? We've done the October.
Yes.
We've done the June 9th.
Let's do the 8.
Tell me. Not the same movies, number one?
The June 9th one is, by the way, Star Trek V, The Final Frontier.
Got it. That's why we've done.
Okay. But so the weekend before, June 2nd.
Let's do this.
Number one at the box office is a big sequel that we've covered on this podcast. A great movie.
In 1989. It's a great film, says David.
It's lots of fun. Lots of fun. Been out for 2 weeks. It's made $77 million.
It's not Die Hard 2.
No. I don't like that movie.
I know. That's why I'm surprised.
But it's not that.
I'm surprised at the version of you I created in my mind.
Huge franchise.
It's a huge franchise. Is it a 2?
3.
It's a 3.
And for a long time, it was the last, but they made 2 since.
Is it the
There's a big
the Beverly Hills Cop person? Is that
good guess? Nope.
We covered it on main feed or Patreon.
Main feed.
Main feed. We covered on main, and we cover all of them. It's not.
We've covered 4 of 5.
It's fuck. I was gonna guess
not covered the 5th.
I was gonna guess it's Beyond Thunderdome, but now there's been one since.
It's made $77 million in 2 weeks. It's a huge hit.
There's been one since that we haven't covered.
Yeah.
Is that what you're telling me? The most recent one we
have not covered the 5th.
Is it Ghostbusters 2? No, you wouldn't call that a great film.
It's a third. You said
it's
right?
an 89 film. It's a third.
Come on. You're going to be so mad.
I'm going to be. Is it one of my franchises?
You love this movie. This is your favorite of this franchise.
Oh, wow.
This is my favorite of a franchise. It's a 3. And then there was a big gap, and we did 4, but we didn't do 5. And are they all the same director?
No, the first 4 are. That's why we've done those 4.
What the fuck?
You're going to be so mad at yourself.
Is it like based around a character?
Yeah.
Fuck. Wow. What is it?
It's not
I'm
Die Hard. It's not Mad Max. It's not like, and it's the fucking.
Oh my God. Everyone's screaming at us.
Yeah,
right now.
Absolutely.
It's crazy.
I'm going to hang it up.
It's a big ass hit.
Yeah. It's probably the biggest movie in 1999.
Oh,
God.
It's
What
Indiana
is it?
Jones and the Last Crusade.
Wow.
Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade.
Wow.
Yeah, everyone's right to be angry at me for that one.
Especially the clue of like, director did 4, but not the 5th.
I know.
Number 2 at the box office is new this week.
Okay.
It is an action film starring a sort of a sports entertainer, I would call him.
Is it a wrestler?
Yes, and he recently left this mortal coil.
Is it Suburban Commando?
It is not that.
But I have the right actor, I believe.
I believe that is a Hulk Hogan film. So
is it
yes,
No Holds Barred?
It is No Holds Barred.
That was his real debut star vehicle.
Correct. No Ring, No Ref, No Rules. Obviously, his debut is what? Rocky 3.
But this is a wrestling movie in which he is the lead, fighting Zeus Tiny Lister.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I haven't either.
I have no idea if it's good, but I'm going to guess.
Wow. We just let people do whatever they wanted then, didn't we?
We sure did.
We used to be a proper country.
Wow, we used to be a real country.
But what I like is back
we used to
then,
let Hulk Hogan do whatever he wanted.
But it'd be like, oh, Hulk Hogan, you want to be in a movie? Your movie will cost like $8 million. Like, it's not going to be a big movie.
Sure.
Yeah. You know, it'll be a cheap little action movie, basically.
Yeah.
And you'll be playing a wrestler.
I mean, you know what's a version of this that I like? That, like, the first Nobody made, like, $30 million.
Totally.
And they were like, make a Nobody
it,
too. Who gives a shit?
Yeah,
it doesn't need to make $100
1000%.
million.
That's my favorite
if it's
thing.
cheap and you want to show up,
Yeah.
Right.
we can
I
keep
love
These
that.
making
things play on Netflix.
Right.
And stuff.
There needs to be different scales of success.
1000%.
Yes.
Number 3 is a comedy. It's not, in my opinion, we've covered it. I think we have not covered it, but we've talked about this one before.
We've discussed it.
I think it's not good. I've not seen it. It
In
is
a franchise?
No, but it's a star duo that made 4 films together. This is their third.
So it's a Pryor Wilder.
It is.
Is
Richard
it
Pryor.
Ben's beloved See No Evil, Hear No Evil?
It is. Yes.
Yeah.
A movie that,
Which
I'm
is the
talking
one
about aging
where
perfect.
Gene Wilder is deaf and Richard Pryor is blind?
Correct.
Yes.
Oh,
And they
no,
witness a murder, and they each only can attest a part of it. Is it the other way around, Ben?
I think it's the other way around.
Didn't they not really get along, but they knew that they were great together?
But they didn't not get along. They were just like, yeah, we had like no personal relationship.
Yeah.
Gene Wilder was like, one time we went and saw a movie together, and we like went out to dinner and didn't have anything to talk about,
like
but we
Penn
had
and Teller.
good chemistry.
What was
Yeah,
the fourth?
yeah,
Because
like that.
obviously Silver Streak and Stir Crazy. What's the fourth?
The fourth
Another
one is
You.
Another You, which is the true disaster.
I've
Pryor's
never-
already
yeah.
really sick.
Mm.
Bogdanovich was fired off of it halfway through filming.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, so that's number 3. Number 4 is a film I brought up, and I was yelling at Nia about recently, like 10 minutes ago. It was nominated for Best Picture. It's one of the most beautiful movies ever made about the great sport of
Field of
baseball.
Dreams.
I can't wait to watch it again.
It does roll.
Number 5
Mhm.
is also new this week,
Okay.
and it is not a movie I'm that familiar with. It's an action movie with a couple members of, I guess they were called the Brat Pack.
Mm.
An action movie.
Mm-hmm.
It's an action. It's a Brat Pack
That
action
feels
movie.
so scary.
It's not Wisdom, is it?
No, it is not. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah.
See? Good pull.
Wisdom is
Good
Estevez and
Ron
more.
Paul. Griff.
Very nice.
Okay, so it's got 2 Brat Packers in it?
Yeah.
It's not trying to be good, is it?
Nope.
Action.
I don't know if you're going to know this movie. I've never heard of it.
Can you give me the Packers?
Kiefer Sutherland
Okay.
and Lou Diamond Phillips.
Oh.
And the tagline feels like they could have maybe worked harder.
Yeah.
This one is "The boys are back in town."
It's not. It's not Young Guns 2.
It is not, because that one's got like 8 Brat Packers.
I know
in
that
it,
is a
right?
movie about boys being back, though.
They're
in
back
town.
in town.
Yeah.
The Young Guns.
Yeah. I don't know if I know what this is.
This film is called Renegades.
Yeah.
Can't tell you that I know anything else
I'm
about
sure
it.
like
really.
10 people text us and be like, I can't believe you guys haven't seen
It's
Renegades.
Jack Shoulder directed it, who's the guy who made that movie The Hidden, which is a movie
Mhm.
I like a lot.
Yeah.
And he made Nightmare 2, the gay one.
Yeah.
So he's got cool movies, but I've never heard of this one really. But it looks like they've got guns and the boys are back in town.
Mhm. It was written, can I make my joke?
Please.
It was written by Jack Knees, produced by Jack Toes.
Bit boy.
Bit boy.
My bit
Number
boy.
6 of the box office is the eternal cult legend hit Roadhouse.
Sure.
Number 7 is the film that I've always described as what if Clint Eastwood played Gene Parmesan, Pink Cadillac, where he's like, I'm an investigator. I'm a master of disguise. And his disguise is like, I'm a yellow hat guy. Like, puts on a hat. No one will see me coming. Pretty fun movie.
I'm holding a finger under my nose like it's a mustache.
Number 9 is, Ben, what did you think of this movie? K9? That's Belushi and the dog?
I've never seen
It's
it.
Jim Belushi and
Yeah.
the dog, obviously.
I
Yes.
feel like it didn't come up with the Patrick Willems.
Yes, he did his
bit.
video.
There's also Cop and a
K9
Half,
versus-
and there's
Well, no, it's the Turner and Hooch
Turner and Hooch.
and K9 are the same year. The
Right.
2 dog cop partner buddy movies.
Wait, guys, sorry. I just realized I looked at my notes, but I just wanted to make
please.
sure I
Oh,
showed you this picture of Nuwanda and Wilson.
Oh my goodness.
It's from the fashion.
Why didn't they make out? They could have made out.
They're so cool. I'm doing that. Oh my God, I'm doing that video podcast thing. Oh, terrible.
What thing?
Where you like, look at this thing on my phone.
Oh, sure.
And I can't describe that well.
Right.
Yeah.
No one can see it. No,
I love you're like, you're in front of me. I can see.
That's the mystery, though.
Text it to me and
put
we'll
it
post it.
Put on your
We'll put it on
whatever.
our
I'll put on
socials.
blankies.
Yeah, put it on those.
Number 9 of the box office is the Pet Sematary movie, which is a good movie.
The first one.
Yes.
Yeah, it's good.
Not the one that was released recently, which is
Mary
Lambert
Lambert
film.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Fun movie. My favorite Stephen King book.
I
And then
did
number
that
10,
with
Ben.
We Hit Movies, guys. Yeah.
Major League.
Nice.
And number
Beautiful.
11, just to shout it out, is Rain Man.
Yeah.
Which
Oh,
is
wow.
still fucking hanging out 6 months later.
Nia, I
Jesus.
just like that you were like, I did the video podcast thing that no one can see. I just then remembered Ben is wearing a full schoolboy
Oh, yeah.
uniform.
It sure is.
The amount of energy Ben puts into
I walked
visual
in and I was
bits.
like, Ben, you look so fancy. And he was like, yeah, Dead Poets Society. And I
Are
was
you
like,
meeting with your
"Oh,
accountant after this?
yeah."
No, it is like because I sit across from Ben when I record with
Yes.
you guys, and you're just always smiling, and you're always just like
He's
present,
so
and you're something to be seen.
He's our beautiful
Thank
boy.
you.
Maybe
But
if you do
Maybe we
video,
should-
it's just
yes,
Ben.
Just Ben.
I like
We
this.
did it. That's good.
Interesting.
That's good.
All
I
right.
just
That wouldn't
love-
infuriate people at all.
I love that Ben puts this
Ben
much
mostly
work
like doing work, checking things on the edit or
into bits for other people to describe on mic.
yeah.
Exactly. That was so good.
It's theater of the mind.
It's theater of the
Yeah,
mind.
I
there
have
you
to
go.
go pick up my daughter.
Okay, enjoy. I'd say
Bye.
humble
In a
brag
minute.
again. Enjoy your lunch, Nia. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having
being
me.
so
This
generous
is
and
so
time.
fun.
I'm gonna say everyone should watch The Bone Temple and Hedda, both of which have now been on VOD,
Probably.
Yeah.
rentable
Yeah.
Probably.
for months.
Yeah.
But really, really loved Hedda.
Thank you.
Yeah, and
I'm so
excited to
glad.
see Bone
Hedda
Temple,
rocks.
which we will have seen and
Yeah.
talked about in our Patreon by
Thrilled
this point.
to watch Bone Temple.
Yeah.
And then whatever you do next will be so exciting.
Hedda
Oh, you're just
really
gonna chill?
rocked. I watched.
Thank
I didn't
you.
get to see it in the theater. I watched the screener, but I had such a great time. It really
I'm so
affected
glad.
me. Where I realized I need to start playing more games with people in
No,
my
you
life.
should. I
No,
think
no,
you
no!
should.
Don't be
Don't
Hedda
take lessons
Gabler.
from
She's
What?
not-
No, that was my takeaway.
Nope.
She's not well.
Listen,
No.
everyone has their own takeaway at the end of the film. It's an ambiguous ending. No,
You're
thank
not
you guys. That
giving
means a
answers,
lot.
you're
No,
asking
I'm really,
questions. Yeah.
I'm really. I think I emailed you guys. I was like, I'm so proud of these two movies. I'm so happy.
I'm
with
very
them.
happy
So-
you're making movies that you can, when we see you, be like, I'm excited.
Yeah, it's very exciting.
Yeah, no, it's
in,
nice.
in the arc of the time since we've known
Because
you.
you were
Yeah.
like you were saying like at the beginning, like every time you see me, I've been like, well, like smoking a cigarette. Yep.
You vent all the stuff that we can't say on mic, and
And
then
I'm
we're
like,
like,
yeah, honey.
yeah.
yeah.
Always a pleasure to have you. on
Thank
the
you
show.
guys.
And thank you all for listening. Please remember to rate, review, and subscribe. Tune in next week for
Yeah, great question.
Green Card is next.
I,
Is that right?
I think you're right, but I'm just double checking.
You finally got to
because-
make Green Card because of the success of this.
Yeah, it was we'll get into it, but it was a thing where schedule was set to wait or whatever. But yes,
yeah.
next
Green
is
Card.
the wonderful, in my opinion, film Green Card.
Starring unproblematic fave Gerard Depardieu.
Well, you
did that
know,
do?
It was the 90s.
Yeah. And as always, Carpe Diem, motherfucker.
Rip!
Oh. I gotta do my Robin vocal warm-ups. Oh. Okay, terrible impression coming.
Blank Check with Griffin and David is hosted by Griffin Newman and David Sims. Our executive producer is me, Ben Hostley. Our creative producer is Marie Barty Salinas, and our associate producer is AJ McKeon. This show is mixed and edited by AJ McKeon and Alan Smithy. Research by JJ Birch. Our theme song is by Lane Montgomery and the Great American Novel, with additional music by Alex Mitchell. Artwork by Joe Bowen, Ollie Moss, and Pat Reynolds. Our production assistant is Minnick. Special thanks to David Cho, Jordan Fish, and Nate Patterson for their production help. Head over to blankcheckpod.com for links to all of the real nerdy shit. Join our Patreon, Blank Check Special Features, for exclusive franchise commentaries and bonus episodes. Follow us on social at Blank Check Pod. Subscribe to our weekly newsletter, Checkbook, on Substack. This podcast is created and produced by Blank Check Productions.